But now, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan, they know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah, make all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan, they know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan, they know that we're calling it wrong.
Nobody is coming to save you. Get up. Be your own hero.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Great to see everybody tonight. Because I didn't know God made honky-tonk angels. All right. What do we got in here? We got Nikki Duncan with us, Mojo Shop, Chicago Cubby Bear. I had to click over to this little thing so I could see everybody. Let's see. Angela Baby Carson's in here with us. Nobody what? Jehovah's Daughter Barbara. How are you, sweetheart? FE Nation has joined us as well. Stacy Jones, I see here. Twilight Nights, Saddle Bum, Sean Alke. Twilight Nights, I said. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like we've got No Longer on the Ball with us as well here. Holy crap. We got us a full house, 27 people watching on YouTube, and that's a combination of both channels. The backup, if you're not subscribed to the backup channel, please make sure that you are, because it's important. And be sure, of course, to like, share, and subscribe. The likes really boost us up in the algorithm and we can get some more stuff. So tonight I was thinking we'll just kind of do some chat driven topics, some of the topical things that are going on, show you a few things. There's Pepsi Girl. What's up, girl? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't seen Vince's stream pop up very often at all on YouTube at all. I guess he's just strictly mostly on Twitter and what's the other, Rumble. So I'm also on Rumble. The Rumble link is in the scroll going by. Yeah, wow. So got some pretty cool stuff here. We've had, of course, the little tunnels in New York. There's been quite a number of things going on. We're only 11 days into the year, and there's already crazy town happening just about everywhere. And for those of you that aren't familiar, with the latest news on the Artemis mission. We heard all these glurfs going on about, oh, you glurfs are going to be sorry in 2024 when we finally go back to the moon. And I love how they say we, as if they're going too, right? They're never going to see a fucking thing other than what they show them on television. This is what cracked me up. Soon they will have commercialized space travel. Man, they told me that bullshit when I was in school. I mean, come on, y'all. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Zionists, right on. I saw that, man. It was crazy. It's like little Mario brother popping up out of the fucking sewers and shit, you know, running around, scurrying, looking all furtively like, don't look at me, don't look at me. Holy fucking God with these people. Got to yell at Vince and make him do another live stream. No shit, man. Right on. We need to get on his ass. What's wrong with you, Vince? I hope you're watching this. I hope you watch this. You better. So yeah, there's been some crazy stuff going on. Found an interesting little experiment that was done. I want to pull this up. This takes about a minute and a half, but you want to see what people don't think much about what pressure differentials just due to temperature can do to something. Okay. Now I want you to watch this guy and I want you to put it into context of, oh, I don't know, magic space trailer flying through space around the earth and shit. So that, and I, you know, this is the thing too, people need to ask for the amount of money that this supposed international fake station has cost us. Can you please name some of the benefits that have come about from it? I mean, we need to start weighing this out. You know, we need to go, you know, dollars versus how useful is this bullshit? I mean, what just I think the biggest purpose of the International Space Station is, although they're saying science, they're not really clarifying anything. And I think what they're into is psychological science with that thing, because it seems to me that the main purpose of the International Space Station is to convince people that space is real. Because I mean, these people are just chasing each other around in gorilla suits and playing music. And what is it that they actually are doing up there, right? That would be worth the amount of money we're spending on it. I mean, times are getting tight, right? I mean, they've had to push the carrot down. They had to kick the can down the road with your Artemis, because now NASA's not going to even attempt the launch until next year or the year before. Probably they're favoring the year after, or I'm sorry, the year after, and they're favoring the year after, the year before. How are they going to do that, right? I don't know. We've seen stranger things. But anyway, let me pull this up and let you take a look at this cool thing. Sealing it right up.
We're going to put onto a tray of ice, start cooling the steam down.
It immediately started buckling. Immediately. Wait, it gets worse. But wait, there's more. So what happened there? And by cooling that metal drum, the air inside, that caused that air inside to become more dense and compress. The outside pressure caused it to cave in. Okay? Because nature doesn't like that imbalance. Everything has to be, or is at least trying to be, in a state of equilibrium. Okay? This is the whole reason why things fall. This is the whole reason why things rise. This is the reason that different pressures will eventually come together. God, all these things picking on here. And equalize. Now, the reason that they don't in our Earth system, of course, is because this is a dynamic fluid pressure system. And what do I mean by that? That there are other factors involved that make it actually a system and not just a blister of compressed gas. We have ever-changing temperatures, which have caused, of course, as we saw in that example, cause expansion and contraction of the atmos, right? These differing pressures have no choice but to try to equalize with one another. So as they're continuously trying to equalize, they're also being taken out of a state of equilibrium by various temperature differentials. Density, moisture involved with it. There's so much that's involved. The respiration between the gas exchanges and plant life and animal life, all of this, it's all part of one huge system. Okay? We are not separate from it. We can't be separate from it and survive. We're part of this. You think about this. This earth is an entire big, huge living thing. The whole thing, it's alive. It replenishes itself. This thing is wonderful. And every component within it is dependent on the other components that are involved with it as well. So it's just like with your body. You have a heart, you have a circulatory system, you have a respiratory system, you have a nervous system, you have different organs within your body that do different functions. None of these organs can live without the rest of the system. Now, the rest of the system can somehow kind of go along without some of these components to it. So could the earth continue if man was not here? I'm sure that it absolutely could. Absolutely. 100%. Okay. But could it thrive better if we were actually conscious of the fact that we are part of this living system? I believe that we could. Where it says there, and people get this, but man was given dominion. I don't like that word. I would rather say that man was given custodialship. Does that make more sense? Custodialship entails the taking care of it. You know, it don't mean you dominate it and destroy it. And that seems to be what man wants to do all the time. And in every case. And it's not just man. No, it's these psychopaths that masquerade as men and try to gain our trust in order to let us put them in charge of affairs so that they can have power. Okay? They're not us. They're psychopaths. And that's all there is to it. So that being said, looks like we got Zulu 1 dropped in here with us tonight. And of course, we don't want to watch that again. Not at all. Hang on a second. So once again, let me show you how it's done real quick. Again, another glurf argument. According to the alleged video, and they're talking about let me show you real quick. Okay. We're talking about this from a video, high altitude balloon, approximately between 120 and 130,000 feet. That's usually where these are taken from. And he says, no curve in sight. Of course, this guy, Vox My Ass, said, According to this alleged video evidence of the flat earth, the pictured Effie's sun not only would move in circular planes, but it also changes altitude dramatically and clearly would be visible from across the plane at any time of the day. To which I responded, why would it be visible all day from one location? Don't tell me you have been using orthographic geometry to describe hyperbolic vision of the observer. That would be retarded. Another one of their tricks, thrown in the garbage, gotten rid of, because it's bahui, twiddle twaddle, and fuck bumpery. Fuckle bumpery. I like that word. Afraid to debate Nick Volt. No, I'm absolutely not afraid to debate Nick Volt. In fact, I invite it right now. I invite you, Nick, to come on up and debate me. You go right ahead. You don't have to use a suck account to do it. Right? Right on. RPB67, good to see you. Thanks for coming tonight. But that's the way we do it. Right? So here's another thing too. We've talked about how, the process of pharmakia on this show. And of course, pharmakia is not just referring to the pharmaceutical industry, but also to the uses of other chemicals, substances, poisons, and potions to manipulate and or destroy your enemy. Usually the goal is to make people duller witted in order to be able to have them still function, yet not be able to really rationally think. This makes it easier for a control system. So this is an interesting little thing. Angela, I'm going to warn you, Angela Carson, this was an experiment that were with some of your little friends, but they all came out of it okay. I still think it was meaner and shit the way that they do this, but hey, these are your guys, man. These are the people, the types of minds that are involved with running the place you live. And you know what's worst fucking part about it? You let them. You let them.
Make a lot of humans nervous. This rat is perfectly healthy. Put him in a vat of water and he finds his way to safety every time.
5.2.
Now, look at this guy. What he's been eating is the equivalent of a North American diet, complete with all the fats and sugars we regularly consume. He doesn't know where to go. His brain has been damaged.
These rats were totally normal, and then they turned into demented animals.
Man, I don't believe I'd be wanting to. I mean, that's interesting. That one little rat, he just went. He what was it? 5.2 seconds of being put in that, and he found his way to safety, right? And the other one went right by it, man. He was within. He could have reached it. He was almost at it, and he's still just right around there. And I think that part of that too is that because of the central nervous system, that there's more of this panic, paranoia, and fear involved. You see, and that is exactly the state of mind that they want to keep each and every one of you in, is in a state of fear. And I think that's probably you better wonder why they want to do that. You know, what is up with that? And here's what happens with it too. People get in this state of fear and they'll be immersed in it for so long, they'll actually get angry at you when you point out that there's nothing to be afraid of. They'll look for another reason to be afraid of it, or because of what someone else said or whatever. It becomes because of this hormone that is produced in this state. And a lot of times with anger, it's the same thing. This cortisol goes into your brain, man, and it starts getting addictive. You'll see people looking for shit to get pissed off about because they're so used to that. They get off on that rush. They don't really realize that's what's going on, but it is. So yeah, we got the what they call the commander in chief up there on Pennsylvania Avenue, shitting his drawers and eating a puzzle. And now we got and while this is occurring, I mean, who's calling the shots on this shit? Surely it's not that dumb fuck. Surely it's not. So who's actually acting as commander in chief to have the United States, the United Kingdom, doing joint airstrikes in Yemen? And of course, the usual cast of suspects are there along with them. Support from Canada, Australia, Bahrain, Netherlands. You know, of course. You know, kind of like a multi-axis of evil, if you want to really know the truth of it. But here's some video of it. It's 30 seconds of your tax dollars. Or should I say more borrowing of money from the Federal Reserve Bank? That's more appropriate, which of course puts you further and further into debt. Can anybody tell me why we're doing this? Last I heard, we've never been attacked by Yemen. Is there a reason that we're in Yemen dropping bombs on them? Anybody tell me what the reason for that is? No. Most people don't even know that's going on. You don't even know that's going on. There's a couple $100 million you just watched happen right there in that little short 30-second clip, man. Because of strategy. There you go. That's a good answer. They always have some national security. Fucking moron people out there in the news and shit. They piss me off. Well, no, I don't think that they don't piss me off as bad as, I mean, they piss me off because of what they're doing. You know, hijacking the minds of trusting individuals. That's a reprehensible thing to do. But what pisses me off is people that will fight against waking up to the truth that that's what's going on with them, that allows it, that patronizes it. I mean, I thought for sure after that last debacle between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, people would have learned their lesson finally about what the fucking voting booth is actually about, man. I really did. I was, this will wake people up. No, these dumbasses are going to go back and use the same fucking voting machines even, man. They're going to go right back to that suggestion box of slaves, which they don't count other than for the purpose of showing that you've given your consent to go along with whatever comes about from it. Man. Holy cow. Nukes are a fake, Cubby Bear. They can't bring out no nukes. Oh, thanks, Christos. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, buddy? All right. Anyway, did I ever show you this thing about telescopes, man? Because I'm going to show you this thing about telescopes. And it's long enough that it allows me to go ahead and get a nice big old bong doobie. All right, here we go.
Invented by a Dutch optician 4 centuries ago. Before that, it was believed the Earth was the center of everything. The theory that it actually revolved around the sun was discounted. In the hands of Italian astronomer Galileo, the telescope brought reality into focus. This molded disc of thick, low-expansion glass will become the telescope's primary mirror. A diamond-edged tool rotates on a calculated tilt to make the glass slightly concave.
Okay, if you don't know what a concave mirror does, a concave mirror can distort images. It'll make a circle appear to be spherical if used correctly, okay? Telescopes have a combination of convex lenses and concave mirrors that distort the celestial objects that you are seeing in the sky. This distortion caused by the concave mirrors and the convex lenses and the aberrations caused by the light being reassembled in the eye itself makes it to where you can't even see the stars for what they actually are, okay? This is what the stars look like without being distorted by these particular mirrors and lenses. Of course, there are going to be people in the comments saying stars look like this because they're so far away, and you should be asking them, how the hell would you know, okay? If they're so far away and nobody can reach them, they're light years and galaxies away, how would you know, okay? That would then be pseudoscience. That would be you speculating, because that would then be a claim that cannot be tested. But what can be tested are the convex and concave mirrors and lenses that are used inside telescopes and what effect they might have on the object that you are viewing with them. The footage you are looking at now are the celestial bodies being viewed through a device that does not use the same principles as a telescope. It does not have the concave mirrors and convex lenses that would distort the image you're looking at, making a circle appear to be spherical, like this footage here, taken from a high-end, high-powered telescope. That also uses software to translate the image that you're looking at into what you see on the screen. That right there should be a red flag to you that the image has to go through some level of processing to show you what you want to see. Like I tell you,
Invented by a Dutch optician.
If you know anything about Brooklyn, my bad. What did I miss? I said whenever what's his nuts wants to come up here on the panel, Nick Volt, he can come up here. That's cool. I don't care. As long as he's not drunk. I think that would probably be good. I don't know if we're ever going to be able to achieve that. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying was that this tunnel in Brooklyn is really fascinating, because here's the thing: a lot of if any of you live in New York or anything, you might know this. Okay, you might know this, but it seems that the Hasidics in Brooklyn are they kind of got like their own laws and their own rules in there, and they don't really consider themselves as part of the regular society. So they can, it's really weird. It really is. And I don't know, this seems to almost be a recognized fact, because what gets me is the fact that they are filling in these tunnels and absolutely no investigation being made into it whatsoever. They just found them and are going to fill them in. And these people were trying to stop them from filling them in. That right there would be telling me, like, why is this so fucking important to you? Well, they must obviously know why. And just filling in the tunnels is not enough. Okay? We need to have some answers. We need some freaking answers here, man. So, I don't know. Here's another. This is a clip. It says, said they were filling up the tunnels as soon as filling up the tunnel so soon. It's the definition of a cover-up. That's what I'm saying, man. Does anyone think that there could have been valid investigation in such a short time? No, that's what I'm saying. Epstein filled his tunnels with cement too. Must be powerful interests at work here. So I don't know. Let's take a look at this and see what y'all think. I mean, here's some more of them actually doing it. Let me do this over here.
Okay, don't touch me.
That blue truck there on the left is a that's a concrete pump, and they often use that when well, in fact, they always almost. I think just about every time they've used. I think every time I've seen those molded basement foundation walls, they've used. Yeah, they have. Just about every foundation I've seen them pour like that, they use that same kind of pump. So they have to, rather than have a chute or people wheelbarrowing concrete down there, they can just run that pump and just pour it right wherever they want to. They're pretty cool. Pretty cool. If you've never seen how they pour those foundations, it's really cool. They have a mold that they have to set up. They're made out of steel, and they lower them in with a crane, and they get them set. And they sight them and everything. And they even have, like, a lot of them have a brick pattern on the one side of it. So it looks like brickwork on the outside. And then they just bring in, like that blue truck, a concrete pump, and they just pump concrete until it's filled up all along the whole thing. And then after it sets and a certain amount of time goes by, they come back and remove the mold. It's pretty cool. God. See, they got to go in there. I mean, that's a lot of work. That was a lot of tunnel. I don't know if you guys saw the footage of the inside of this thing, but there was really quite a lot. And if they're going to fill that all in with concrete, God, I can't even imagine how many yards of concrete that is. And it's the volume. Usually I'm used to what they're going to use to put on the outside to make a volume like a basement. But this is like if you had to fill a basement, right? That's insane. Totally insane. Let's see. Is this where I'm at? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is pretty good too. People are like, they can't track everybody. Holy shit. There was a show my wife used to watch it all the time. It had Jim Caviezel in it, called Person of Interest. And it's kind of interesting if you go back and watch it, knowing what you know now and then seeing what they have. There was an AI that was able to tap into all the different camera networks and shit like that. And they'd often have cut scenes where it would show like a street scene, and there'd be like these little symbols and shit around people and airplanes and cars and shit with little identifiers and everything like that. And I remember seeing it. I was like, man, it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that pretty soon. Watch. And now it is. This whole little thing, this is real. And it looks like pretty much what they used to have on that show, Person of Interest. It's really crazy. Watch this. Every fucking book. Fuck, man, I'm just going to start wearing my ghillie suit everywhere. That's it. I'm just going to wear that thing all the time. God. I mean, that's spooky. I mean, I don't know about you, but that spooks me out kind of. I mean, I'm like, not that I'm afraid, but I'm just like, The shit involved with just doing that, it just blows my mind. But people will tell us too. This is what the Globers will say. If it wasn't for space, we couldn't have that, you know. I really have started to view these people as brain dead. Now, I looked, and on Jeranism tomorrow night was supposed to be a debate between, what's that guy's name with an O? Got kind of a chubby face. Him and Caleb. But I went back to look because I was going to put the link, and they must have changed it, or somebody backed out or some kind of thing. I don't know. But that would have been a good one. So I'll keep, if it does happen or something, then I'll be sure to cover it. And we'll do a reaction to it. Because I like that, because I can elaborate more on these points that are made. And yes, Ozium. Thank you. Saddlebomb. That's right. That's the dude. So I didn't see it on there when I just went to look. So wish me luck. I'm drunk, stoned, and hungry, and I have a kitchen. Those right there all go together. That's like peanut butter, jelly, and white bread. It's the same thing, man. You're good to go. Good to see you, Logan. Holy cow. Yeah, that is scary, Greg. You're absolutely right. Logan, you're crazy, man. But yeah, in answer to when is Nick Volt coming back on, whenever Nick Volt would like to come back on. Absolutely. I mean, I did pin the link up into the chat. Yeah, it's up there. So, you know, that's how it kind of works around here. So, in this area, they said unexplored tunnels proven to lead south to the exact direction of 394 Kingston Avenue, and linked to a child incident case from 2 months ago. Full court documents in PDF form available here. I can. Oh Lord, yeah. So that's a thing. I can put the link to the PDF in the chat for anybody if they'd like. Let me see if that copy link. Let me put that there and paste it. Oh, it worked out. There you go, guys. I'm going to grab it. All right. Okay, so bam. Nice. So there's, you know, seems to be, I'm sorry, where there's smoke, there's fire. I'm sorry, where there's smoke, there's fire. This needed to be investigated a little bit more, especially in lieu of this. Especially in lieu of this. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, under Orlando, hell yeah. Some of those small world people might actually be real kids, man. You don't know. Yeah, Zulu one. I'm afraid so. I'm afraid so. And they do seem to be. They look like they know that they're not gonna get in any trouble, so they can just be out there right in the open, protest, shutting this shit down, you know, and putting concrete in it. So yeah, you know, I think they're used to not having to pay a consequence for shit. We got Matt Prince joining us. What's happening, Matt?
Hey, how you doing, man? I had a comment I wanted to make on something you were talking about earlier, and then I got fucking messed up having to redo passwords and whatnot just to get logged back into all this crap.
I know, isn't it a pain in the ass? That's why I won't get no more other stuff. People are saying, "Oh, do you have this app and that app?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna get no more fucking passwords and shit. I have enough. You know, not
Yeah, I
doing
just
it.
had to redo like 3 just to get logged in to join you. And I can't even remember what you were talking about like 15 minutes ago.
That makes 2 of us. I just go. I'm on my feet. Where are we talking about? Let me see if I can go back. The tracking of people. We're also talking about us bombing Yemen.
Yeah. I think it was right before, or right after you were talking about Yemen.
So that would have been, the tracking stuff, man. Like how they track us.
Yeah,
And
it was something else.
was it something else? Help us out there, chat.
Oh,
Don't-
the damn tunnel things, man.
Oh yeah, I'm still on that. Yeah.
I think those, like, I think they were digging out something that was already there.
Yeah, I do too. But you see that one?
They figured out there was something underneath, and they were like, "Yeah, let's dig this stuff out." I don't know what they were using it for. I mean, some of those, images were questionable, but I really like. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's so weird, but it's like the guys that were in there like trying to stop them from filling it in. It's like, no, we need to. I almost feel like it's like a reverse like psychology deal where the guys that were trying to stop them from coming in concrete and that crap back in, they were like, no, we need to know this ancient history. But I think the other fellas in the church that were like, no, we got to get those guys out of there because we got to cover some stuff up.
Yeah. Listen, I'm just going to show you. This is taken from one of their synagogues. Okay. Watch.
Every time I give them the benefit of the doubt, I see something
I mean, really, what in the actual was that, man?
Yeah, that was disgusting.
I mean, what are they doing? They pull up a kid, a kid-sized doll in a noose in an obvious gallows, and then and then one guy's got a gun out, and then he's runs around and starts punching it in the face. What in the hell is that? I mean,
you know what seems to be funny to me? It seems like I'm not saying that there's not bad Muslims out there, but it seems like everything they blame the Muslims for. It's like the Jews are doing it and the Indians are doing it.
I know. It's
and the Muslims are completely against it. They're against all of it. Like if like the Quran following Muslims.
Good to see you, Flow State. Well, see, that's just it. The Quran, when you start getting into the Talmud, oh my word. Oh my.
Oh yeah. Disgusting.
Okay. And this is what these guys are going by. This is their whole thing is through that. This is why I don't know how it is they wield so much power to be able to escape any kind of investigation of this, any kind of like, listen, you can't just go doing shit like that. You take out a bearing wall or something like that, and a foundation, a whole apartment building collapses. What the fuck, man? You can't do that. This is why you exterminate rats that are digging holes in the side of your house, or termites and shit. When they're digging holes in the side of your house and everything, you have to get that. You can't have that. And these guys are going in there, and the story is to their excuse has been changed like 3 times since this has hit the news.
Yeah.
They had one excuse that it was some teenagers were doing it. Another excuse was that they were expanding the synagogue
Yeah,
underground.
and I heard one that they were trying to they were hide out during, the
COVID.
the limited gathering stuff so they could
Yeah.
still gather together. Yeah.
Shit, they were making their own rules up in Brooklyn anyways. They always have, and they still do. Yeah, no, this is some crazy shit. Let me see, where was that? Oh yeah, this is a statue that's in Brooklyn. I just want you to, this is all just stuff that I've run across, but this is a statue that's actually in Brooklyn.
I've seen that. I've seen that before. Not in person, but I have seen that image.
What in the world is that all about, right?
It was supposed to be a joke, like a joke on the play of alligators in the sewers, but why is the alligator coming out and fighting a baby?
Well, and it's got clothes on. Look. It's got clothes on, right?
It does have clothes on.
Okay, and it also has 5 fingers.
Yeah.
So, like, what's this reptilian thing people talk about, right? I can only just I can only speculate at this point in time.
Do you watch any of Robert Zephyr?
I don't.
He's a paleontologist. He makes videos. He like puts one out like once a month. They're like 15 to 20 minutes. But he's a he's a flat earther and everything. But like he's gotten really into the timelines and whatnot and broke those down. And I was watching some videos from his earlier today actually, to where he was showing like how the depiction of these statues were like basically an animalistic depiction of these humans' actions. And an alligator in the sewer, people coming from underground.
Yeah, man.
You would think of them as being like an alligator in the swamp. And I just put that together when you just showed me that.
Well, this is just another little piece of anecdotal evidence. Okay. And I remember back a couple of years ago when I caught wind of this, that some of Epstein's victims had described that he had an egg-shaped male member, okay, or an egg-shaped penis. This guy's got a really weird looking mouth too, man. Really look at this guy.
Yeah, I saw that when you talk about his small teeth, and how they maybe the dentures like and stuff. I was thinking about that. That's really weird.
Maybe even dentures made from children's teeth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when you said that the other day, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. Yeah, egg-shaped, shifty-eyed. Yes. So this was victims' description of Jeffrey Epstein's male genitalia. If you look up that particular phrase outside of the Epstein documents, you will find that certain turtles and lizards have this egg-shaped penis. So what I've got here right now is a part of a tape, a video from the deposition of Jeffrey Epstein. It's about a minute long, and it's where the attorney asks him about his egg-shaped penis. This is crazy.
Could you please give us your name?
Jeffrey Epstein.
Is it true, sir, that you have what's been described as an egg-shaped penis?
Form, vague, and definite, and I'm going to give you the first warning, Mr. Kubin, that these types of questions are not only argumentative, but directed in a manner to embarrass Mr. Epstein. If you continue with this type of question, I will adjourn the deposition immediately.
Sir, according to the police department's probable cause affidavit, one witness described your penis as oval-shaped and claimed when erect it was thick towards the bottom but was thin and small towards the head portion, and called it egg-shaped. Those are not my words, I apologize. But as Mr.
Now adjourned.
as Mr. Critton has stated, that this is
Thank
a...
you, Mr. All right.
I'm willing to continue.
You're muted, man.
I think that's an interesting that judge went ahead and said, oh, we're just going to adjourn this. Now, wait a second. That's according to the police descriptions. It's a fair question, especially when it comes to sex allegations, right? If there is an anomaly or a particular uniqueness about a region of a person's body that was in the actual case, you pretty much have to have that out, right?
Say you have like a mole on this one little spot and they can recognize it and they can describe it.
Yeah, like you have a mole that
Like,
looks like
yeah.
Charlie Chaplin, and they say, oh yeah, do you have a mole that looks like Charlie Chaplin? Something very distinguishable that only someone would be able to observe during seeing that area of your body. And if the person has seen that area of your body without consent, then that would pretty much nail it down. But that judge, obviously a customer or bought off or both, would not allow that line of questioning during the deposition. Isn't that odd?
Could you please give...
Oh, yeah. I better not even show that. Well, let me see. Maybe I can. It's not very long. What the hell? So since that tunnel thing came off, this says normies after the Shabbat tunnels video. The Shabbat tunnel videos. Okay. So this is kind of funny. I was like, oh my God, man. People's creativity just messes me up. But even the way they put it, normies after the tunnel videos. And I'm like, no shit, man.
That's great, man. That was fantastic.
So let's see. Oh yeah, this was kind of crazy. Listen to what this
I'm gonna step away for just a second. I can still hear. I'm just gonna go
right.
pack a bowl real quick.
Right on. So check it out. This Freudian slip made by a news anchor. This was funny.
Is worrying health officials who call mass vaccinations the only path to a return to normalcy. Almost 4 months into the vaccination effort, providers are beginning to run out of people who want to be immunized. Is worrying health.
What the fuck? You euthanized.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
That's probably not the right type of word mistake to make. Holy cow, I thought that was funny as shit. It's like, you gotta be kidding me.
Oh, I hadn't seen that one. That was great. That's probably like the best thing I've seen all week.
Well, it's gotten like this now. A lot of people are just kind of going, oh, give me a freaking break. This guy was doing a bit. He's a comedian. This was funny as shit.
Are you sick, ma'am? Are you wearing that for safety or just to let everybody know who you're voting for? I think she's laughing. I can't tell. Thank you for coming despite your everything about you.
You're just trying to let everybody know who you're voting for? Holy cow.
My brother showed me some of that guy's videos earlier.
What's that now?
Afternoon. My brother showed me some of that guy's videos earlier this afternoon.
Oh yeah, he's pretty funny, man. What's his name?
I
Shit.
can't, something Gillen or something.
Oh, it'll come to me later. Oh Lord, what do we got here? Always newer and newer international fake station F ups, if you will, fuck ups. Watch this one. Every time. See the green screen? Did you see that green?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've seen this video, man.
Where'd
I
that
just wonder
come
why.
from?
What's his name? Why's he got his arms held so tight? Like the other fellas, like his arms are so tight against
I
his
know.
body.
That's to maintain that balance on that harness. They're always like this. They're always like this with their arms. They're
Yeah.
always like this.
Yeah.
Nobody's
Yeah.
like that. Even when you're relaxed and shit, it's stupid
Yeah.
as hell.
Like I can't go anywhere.
Apparently, space allows the most impossible things to occur. Pretty good stuff. There he is.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a pretty dandy map you got behind you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Where'd you pick that one up from?
Amazon actually, and it's a 3x2. And it's high def, like you can actually read like everything on there.
Yeah, that's what I got. You know what? Mine has a blue ring around the outer edge.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah. My buddy's got one with a blue ring.
See, mine's. Let me see if I can show it to you. Let's see.
Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, that's the same one my buddy's got. Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff, man.
Yeah, man. I walk up to this thing and I look at it all the time and I just think about like.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you, if you looked at the 1587 Urbano Monte map,
Man, I got so many. I'm not sure exactly which one you're talking about.
Oh, man.
I've probably looked at it though.
I'll show you real quick. Let's see. Do I still have it in my history? Yeah, there we go. David Rumsey, historical map collection. Here you go. Let me pull this thing up. It's really, really cool. Oh, there we go.
Is this the one with all the like the little animals and lands?
Yeah.
America? Yeah.
This is
Yeah, just hit me what it was. Yeah, it shows. Yeah.
that.
That one's interesting. Yeah, that one's crazy.
You see, there's some really crazy stuff about this too, man.
And I love the North Pole, 4 regions, 4 rivers. Like,
Let me see. Let me see. I need to. Let me do that. There we go. Wait, where is it? Where'd it go? Oh, it's taking a minute to draw. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, we get a little bit. Let the resolution catch up. There we go.
Oh yeah.
And when you get here, there's a G in the center.
Yeah.
What's that for?
Man, I'm telling you, like it's so weird. Like, biblically, God is on a throne in the center of our world. And everything revolves around Polaris. And I just think it's like interesting. And they say like the signs of God is like jade and salmon stone or something like that. And that's like the northern lights, and they seem to irradiate from
We got
Polaris.
we got Jeebus Crisp with us tonight.
Hey, brother.
Look at the Virago, man. Do you know what a Virago is?
Whirlpool, I'm assuming.
Yeah, man. You know, this is also
Like
where
vortex,
this is also where they saw that fucking spiral shit in the sky at too. Remember when they were showing that spot? Because this is Norway. This is Norway.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that spiral shit thing they saw in the sky that was whirling around and stuff? They said, we don't know what this is. And then they come up with a cover story about 2 days later, and right in that same area. And here it is mapped in 1587, something very similar. I think that's pretty cool.
Have you ever heard the song The Ends of the Earth? I forget who
Yes.
sings it. Yeah, the music video for that, when it shows like the sea splitting and whatnot, and Captain Cook making his voyage. Man, I just think that's a badass video. This is a badass song.
I have to wonder what's this.
Yeah. Where's that at? Is that? Oh,
It's just off the coast of Africa.
yeah, I'm not sure.
It's almost like a half submerged continent or something.
What's north of that, in between Europe and Canada? Is there anything showing there?
What, here?
No, like south of, like go down, like where you're like between like New York and England.
Oh, right here in the middle of between here and
Down
here.
south, a little south of there. I'm just wondering what it's showing south of there.
Spain?
Just ships and whatnot.
Yeah, Spain. And,
No, you know when you like zoom in on Google Earth and you look at that area, like if you look a little to the left and you look at Google Earth, there's actually this area that looks like like could be Atlantis. And, you know, it's called the Sunken Continent, and you go down there and there's like statues and all of these.
This here
like,
seems to be just
structures.
about this here is right about the equator.
And yeah,
And-
and you know how all of our maps aren't really correct, so I mean it could be that area as well.
Okay, what is Isola de la Ascensión? Island of the Ascension? Is that what I get from that? I mean, that seems to be what it translates to.
Island of the Ascended, maybe.
Let's somebody run that through Google Translate. I got too many tabs open.
What's I'm sorry, I had to step away for a minute. What are we looking at? Isula de la Ascension.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm translating correctly, I believe that says island of the Ascension.
Yeah, Isola. Yeah, sounds about right.
So I wonder what that's all about. See, every time I look at this thing, I see different stuff all the time, man.
Have you seen?
You can sit for hours and do this, man, for real.
Yeah.
Dave, have you seen the stuff on the Hoover Dam? Like, I was unaware that they had these two. They look like kind of like the oracles from Never-Ending Story or something. Like these two big angel statues on the top of it.
Where is
it?
That?
At the Hoover Dam, at the top of the Hoover Dam, and they've got this big, what is supposed to be like an American eagle, which we know is really a phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And its wings turn into like these extra, stretched out lines. And it's a compass and a square. It's an eagle and a pyramid, and it looks like the compass and the square of the Freemason dilly.
No,
real creepy. Looks like an altar though, man, and it's got some real creepy words written on it.
Yeah,
about the people that died building it and stuff, like the 100 people that died.
I've never visited it. I've driven over it, But just to get from one place to the other, I don't want to spend any more time on that thing than I want to, because I know sooner or later it's going to give way, and I don't want to be there when it does. Right? Same reason I hesitate to go over here to the Luray Caverns, because I'm like, be my luck that fucker caves in while I'm in it.
They there's like some engineers at the Hoover Dam. I don't know how like true this is. I remember seeing it on like Discovery Channel or History or something like that. But they said they have to let a certain amount of leaks continuously leak, because if they held back the pressure, the dam would collapse.
Yeah.
Like they can't repair all the leaks, because if it wasn't for the leaks, then
they purposely let water through.
Much pressure. Yeah.
Yeah. You see this part right here? It says the region of the giants. Okay. Now I'm going to show you something. This is 1587. These things are mapped in South America. This would be, of course, Argentina. They're showing that this is a land of giants, right? So let me go back to something real quick here. And oh boy, it's up here a little bit. Just a second. This was something that Abraham Lincoln said. It's a quote. Let me get up to it. If I can find the gosh dang thing. Okay, wait a second. That's Copernicus. I'm getting close. There we go. All right. Now keep that region of the giants in mind. And then I'll bring up this. The eyes of that species of extinct giant, whose bones fill the mounds of America, have gazed on Niagara as our eyes do now.
Word.
Ain't that crazy?
Abe Lincoln actually said that, or someone just pasted that next to
No,
it?
I've seen. Yeah, he did say that.
You know what? There's stories about giants here in the Ohio River Valley.
Oh yes,
covered big time stories. If you go to the museum, stuff that you won't see it, but of course,
Serpent Mounds.
Yeah, it's like an hour. Yeah. Next time you come up here, Dave, we'll have to go to the Serpent Mounds. We're probably going to go there this probably spring.
Cool.
It's like an hour up the road. There's a spot where there's a creek, like I guess it's a creek, that runs along the side of where the actual tourist attraction is, right? The actual mound. And there's an altar down there in the water, right? It floods constantly. And you can see the back of a snake coming out of the water. And they say that the head of that snake was an altar where they would like sacrifice babies and shit. So I really want to go check it out.
These fucking psychopaths always wanting to kill children. What is wrong with them?
Where's this located at?
It's in Peebles, Ohio. It's about an hour and 20 minutes away from Ironton. So.
Okay.
Oh, that's way too far away from me right now.
Where are you at, Matt?
I'm in Georgia.
Arizona.
Oh, you're in Georgia.
But I'm really close to the Etowah Indian Mounds. They're like 25 minutes away from me, just north of me. And I go look at those things all the time, man. And I swear those things are like miniature little fucking pyramids that had some like wash in come in and
listen.
It's like
coming
crazy.
Down the hill from right here where we live, it looks like a huge pyramid just covered in grass and trees and shit, right?
Well, they've actually admitted that these were pyramids, but they don't, like, the way they explain them, they are pyramids, but they do not call them pyramids. These are Indian mounds because they were for burials, but nothing was ever actually buried in them.
Right.
Like, the burial ground is actually like a mile down the road from them. So it's like,
let me answer ZXL Master. How big is 1 septendecillion? A super duper huge amount. I have no fucking idea.
It's got what is it? Sept, right?
What is it?
Sept.
Sept.
Hang on, I'll put it back up there.
7, right?
7, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
7.
It's got a 7 in it. We know that, right?
Yeah, 7, 10,
and a 10.
Deck,
so there's 7 times.
Deck is also 10.
And then the ION is like multiple zeros, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So we got
Yeah.
7, a 10,
7, 10, 10, and or 7, probably 10 zeros, 10 zeros, and then whatever the rest is.
Another new strain.
Gobbly.
So this is our good friend Nicholas Copernicus. I love to mispronounce his name. It said, how did they measure the sun at 93 million miles away? This is a quote by him. He said, it is not necessary that the hypothesis should be true or even probable. It is sufficient that they lead to results of calculations which agree with calculations.
That guy is
so fuck
Nick
reality,
Volt's
right?
ancestor.
It's who?
That's Nick Volt's ancestor, dude.
It might be.
You can see it. It's like right on.
You can. And he was probably drunk when he said that stupid shit. Listen, break that down. It doesn't matter if the hypothesis is true. This is what he's saying. Or even probable. Okay?
Just that we can all agree on it and be
just as
comfortable.
long as the results, as long as they lead to results of calculations that agree with calculations. That is stupid, man. No, because math is merely a description. It's not reality. So he's saying as long as we can make something work with math, it doesn't matter if it's even probable in real life.
Okay.
This is one of the giants that these people stand on the shoulders of. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Wow. Just fucking wow. So what do you think about those tunnels, man? What's your take on that shit?
Which tunnels are we talking about?
You didn't know about the Zionist or the tunnels under the synagogue in Brooklyn?
Oh, no, but it wouldn't surprise me. I've never heard any specifics. I have heard stories from leaders of the so-called Jewish community where they've talked about taking, doing things under the synagogue that are not humanly. And I mean, they were pretty just proud about it, the way they were talking about it. Like using people's hemo to make their bread and shit. Like, I know you've heard this before.
Yeah, I know. It's
Dance
crazy.
to Hanukkah,
There was a high chair down there. There was children's mattresses that they were pulling out of there with some questionable stains on them. There was a stroller. I mean, what the fuck? Why would you have that down in this tunnel you're supposedly constructing?
I don't think Jeebus knows what we're talking about.
Oh my God! Yeah, I'll show you.
No, I don't think not really. No, like I said, I don't know the specifics of it, but I have heard stories about tunnels
did you hear?
synagogues.
Did you hear about the one that got busted in New York just like a few days ago, or what was it?
I heard something about it today, but like I said, no specifics. Someone just kind of mentioned it, and I didn't know really what they were talking about.
So let me go back a little ways here, just kind of so to bring you up to speed. So what was found out that there was this tunnel that these Hasidic Jews in Brooklyn were obviously constructing. That of course they didn't have any kind of permits or anything else like that for, and the city came in to fill these tunnels that they were digging in. Now this is the story. Due to the fact that they could cause subsidence of other buildings, they're not permitted, blah, 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 blah. Okay. All of the Hasidics started rioting against the police who were to try and stop the cement trucks from filling them in to allow the city to do it. So the police were called in. Now they ended up, that's how the thing started. Okay. Then what happened was that they went down in this thing, and some of the stuff that's caught on video that they brought out was questionable. And I would say, as would any other reasonable human being, given the circumstances, prompt further investigation. Yet no further investigation was done, and they just went on about going on and filling in the tunnels, still at the protest of the Hasidic Jews and from the synagogue. Now, I might also add that this is the Chabad headquarters. Okay, and that's a big deal. That's a pretty big deal. One of the tunnels reached almost to, and as I've said, they were under construction, to the Children's Museum.
Yep.
So let me just give you, this is a video of down in the tunnel. It's about a minute long.
Whoa.
Now this is where there's to see the buckets and all the stuff, and they're working and everything here. Now there's tile wall here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, man. Like these, it looks like they were digging something out that was already filled in.
Well, they were digging to get through this. This was through the basement, but they're digging a tunnel through out of the basement. You'll see. Watch. So as we go a little further into the interior, I want you to note this right here.
Earlier, when they said that they got busted.
Yeah.
Do you see this object right here? That's a high chair, and that's not a cheap high chair either, to be just discarded to the side like that. Now we're starting to get into where they're working. See, they've pulled those bricks out.
Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's all the fucking dirt from there.
Yeah, baby.
They put it in the basement of their building.
Right, and then we're secretly getting rid of the dirt.
I was kind of thinking that they found out that their building had another layer under it, and they were digging out the dirt that was backfilled in.
No.
They were getting rid of the dirt that was through that.
Yeah.
Space, basically.
So here's that high chair. Okay, it's a Graco Blossom 6-in-1 convertible high chair. And there it is side by side with a screen capture from the video. Unfortunately, I don't believe that gives a price. Yeah, $219.99.
So there was a chick I saw in a video earlier. She was talking about her and her neighbor are tenants of this like building, and they had to go in the basement of this building for some reason or another, and they found a freaking underground city, basically. I mean, they had like a laundromat, a freaking, and it was right under a daycare center. Like the entrance to it was directly under a daycare center that was in either the building next door that literally touched her building, or maybe part of the same building. I can't remember. I don't quote.
I'll tell you something weird, man. Is a buddy of mine and me, we've been talking about going down to Savannah, Georgia. Well, you know, Atlanta has underground Atlanta, which is basically like the city's built on top of the city that was built in between these valleys and whatnot. So you got underground Atlanta, which is considered, you know, in between these valleys. But in Savannah, they got these underground like tunnels, abandoned cities and whatnot. They have like these haunted tours and whatnot, but they actually allow you to privately go down there and just go wander if you want to, just like you're like cave spelunking.
Yeah. Where's this at again, Matt?
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah.
Yeah, they have like a whole underground city that you just go down there and wander around if you want to, but it's like cave spelunking. You got to like sign a waiver, get a map, make sure you got your headlights, and
but there's actually like underground like old businesses and shit like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like a city built on top of a city.
like some Demolition Man type of stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, exactly. It's super weird, but I mean, you don't really come across people down there from what I understand. I've never actually went for myself to go see it. Me and my buddy, we just found out about it. We've been talking about going down there, just taking pictures and kind of exploring.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. I'd like to see some of that. Most of the time I spent in Georgia was in signal school at Fort Gordon up in Augusta. That's almost you might as well be in South Carolina.
Yeah.
You know, it's right there.
Yeah.
This Jeebus, this is when the city went to fill them in, I guess, and the police and they went in and occupied the tunnel to try to keep people went in there to try to keep them from being able to fill it in. This is how important this was to them. And so the police were there to pull those people out, and these other Hasidics started flipping shit over it. So let me show you.
Yeah.
No.
Not gonna help. They try to.
Back up. Sitting up.
Such bizarre behavior.
Man, I also kind of I really wonder if those guys that were standing in the tunnel was standing there to block them from filling it in so they could see the evidence.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, it was just a few guys standing down there trying to block it, and the rest of them were like, "No, get them out. We got to fill this in.
Right.
What if like all of them motherfuckers were like the 6 sadistic motherfuckers, and this was like the 12 people that thought, man, no, this is wrong. There's some fucked up stuff going on here. We need to they need to see the evidence. We can't let them fill this in." And they arrested like the protesters.
You say the cats that were down there in the holes were like just trying to you think it was all
like saying
out of the tunnel?
Well, no, I'm saying like the cats down the hole were like saying, "Don't fill this in. You need to come down here and look to see what's down here, so you can see this evidence. You need to see what these motherfuckers were trying to do." Because it was supposedly younger guys too. Like all the guys like that were like standing in there were supposed to be like in their like late 20s, early 30s.
I think there are some Jews, or that people that claim to be Jews, right? That aren't, that are literally placed in these Jewish outfits with the curl, all this stuff, just to give Jews a bad name, right? Just to make them look as bad as they possibly can.
Well, I think that there are groups that masquerade. Behind the mask of Judaism in order to get by with their reprehensible.
Yeah,
put it off.
It's a liability shield.
Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah. Here's that here's one of the mattresses. I mean, that don't look like if somebody pissed the bed, that's usually not where it happens at. Just saying it's usually like where about here is at on someone. Or even their head. Who knows? But we don't know what that stain is. Hasn't been analyzed, for crying out loud.
Looks like a protein.
I don't think they are going to analyze it. I'm pretty sure they disposed of everything.
Yeah, just no investigation, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, what the hell is this guy doing?
Yeah, and this guy, and I saw where they welded over that fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like they've already put a metal plate down and welded over that thing so nobody can get down there anymore.
You go running off?
I was down there when I was a kid, man. I remember this place.
Dude, look at the size of that fucking hole in his hat. Like he has practiced coming up out of that thing several times.
Look at this.
Because look at his hat in that hole.
Oh no.
Look at him go running. He pushed the camera away and started running.
Hell no.
And he does. He looks like a rat coming out of a fucking sewer.
Yeah, absolutely does, man. I can't believe that. I was like, what the hell are you guys hiding down there that you gotta
He knew right what he was doing getting down in there, didn't he? He like did it before.
He did. Yes, he did. Here, this is what you were talking about, where they were welding it shut right here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
People lamenting because he's welding it shut. Wow, what in the hell?
Dude, man, upside down world.
And what was it? They took. It says that, yeah, they were multiple of them. Hang on one second. Let me pull this up. Arrested. On what charges? Probably obstruction or delaying city operations or some other nonsense like that. But you're not going to see anything come about from this. But we all know. We all fucking know. You know, at this point, we don't have to really prove shit. I mean, it's when there's enough smoke, you know there's a goddamn fire. All right, that's all there is to it. And this is just ridiculous. And I have to say, their little choice in attire would denote a gang.
Yeah, hey, and he's got a point about the young dudes, right? All the cats getting arrested are these little young. It's like either the old dudes put them up to it, or you know, they
realize some shit's fucked up, and then they threw them under the bus and fucking blame them for what they were doing wrong. That's what I think kind of might be going on.
Sheesh.
Listen, this shit is insane.
Because I mean that, like, if
that's what he's saying. The
younger one, they had. Oh man, there's so much stuff in the Talmud and whatnot, and about like, if your youngsters don't like have enough chutzpah, then you can sacrifice them to your enemies or some crap like that. I can't remember exactly what it says.
Yeah, at least they're kind of like a police uniform.
Let me see. I have a thing that kind of goes through the little Talmud. I think I reposted. Let me
just say it.
Because isn't there something that says if your youth don't follow your ways, then you can sacrifice them to the goyim or
it's something like that, and it says
something like it's something.
The
weird,
goyim
man.
are us, man. They call us.
Yeah,
goyim,
I know we're the goy.
Consumers.
Yeah,
you know, they buy it on the retail or wholesale or whatever. Then we buy it on. You know, they got their little system down pat, man. They're penny pinching. I mean, I give it to them, man. They're good at what they do, making money. hoarding
Wait,
money.
is this on
Stealing money.
YouTube?
What's that?
Is this on
I'm not being
YouTube?
anti-Semitic. I'm just calling it how it is.
No, I mean, for
they
real,
call
it's
it-
like usury. Look, usury is a sin. It used to be illegal.
Yeah, exactly.
It used to be illegal. So I'm just saying, man, you can't condone, say, oh, they make a lot of money through doing that when it's already established that that's a dishonest and vile practice. Okay. It doesn't matter if everybody does it. It's still a vile practice.
Right.
That's all there is to it. And this isn't specific to any one group of people either. Everybody is coveting money. Everybody is. Everybody covets wealth.
And just to be obvious here, though, it is the Jewish people that
Oh.
own the bigger, more like the entertainment
Yeah,
industry. That's
yeah.
a booming industry, man. And
Right.
there's Jewish people behind every bit of it.
They brag on it at numerous
take full
occasions.
credit.
They boast that they control Hollywood.
They talk about
boast
how
that they
diamonds are
control-
worthless, but they sell them for so much money, and people just think that they're worth a lot of money, but they're just worthless rocks to them.
Yeah, I mean, they're just great people.
People are
man.
dying
I
over
mean,
these things, and they're like, "Hey, they're worthless."
they're great people. I mean, they
Just
learn
shiny.
how to really build up society and give them hope.
Yeah, this is I'm just saying, man. And it's not just oh yeah, they're purging accounts for talking about this. Yeah, I believe it. They don't want you to talk about this, but it's like, look, this is news. Okay, this is happening, and look, there's some shit that's really suspect that needs to be investigated, but is not. And I need to understand why. I need to know why. What's happening,
You know
Melody?
why? When things don't get investigated, Sovereign, it's because they already know that what's going on. If they investigate it, then they've got to tell you what's going on or give you some kind of story, right?
Melodome, I sent you that link to that clip of Robin Williams talking about Stephen Hawking in space. This is crazy. This guy used to be an NIH employee. Okay. This is the kind of garbage we're up against. I've never once it says this guy said this. Okay. I've never once taken a kid to my bed. They came to my bed and I am no one to kick them out. Quote unquote. Quote, if they hug me and I find them playing with my I say, good for you, and I play with theirs. Quote, Nobel Prize winner and NIH, National Institute of Health employee, Daniel Carlton Gajusek. Look into this guy's whole story and how much power and access he was granted. The people in charge are all corrupt, and this is him talking. Parental discretion may be advised.
The fucking he recorded the child orgasms.
I don't know if that's him or not. No, I know who you're talking about. You're talking Kinsey.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Kinsey.
Yeah, did the child orgasm they like it's like
that's
what
sick
like
shit.
what yeah. What the fuck?
And these are people in charge. I mean, if you want to hear it from his own mouth, it's right here, but I just gave you the gist of what he said.
Yeah.
And no need to beat a dead horse. The reality of it is that these people in charge are sick. These people in charge are psychotic. The people that you go there and think there's somebody else to vote for, and you're looking at them on a television screen and you're thinking that they're the character that they're portraying, you better wake up. You better wake up. We had a convicted child abuser as Speaker of the House, for crying out loud. They are in the Ministry of Parliament.
Not just Speaker of the House. We got like fucking convicted, or maybe not necessarily convicted.
No,
but we
that's
got
what I'm
fucking
saying.
yeah,
Convicted.
but there are some that are convicted.
Yeah,
that are in there,
listen.
but there's ones that are not, that are, we know, that are involved in it, and
Well, of course.
nobody
they're
does anything
implemented
about
in
it.
every
Nobody fucking
aspect of
does anything
society.
about it.
In every group of successful group, there are these creepos lurking around, and they're planted everywhere, man. They're in.
Oh yeah.
You know,
it's not
Sovereign,
just that they're everywhere. It's not just that they're everywhere, man. They're in positions of power. They're in positions of power. They're placed in these positions of power by other entities through blackmail. This is how they get their chess pieces.
You know,
through
technically,
these.
by nature, it should, you know, it really is bilateral. The
That
people that should be in power don't want the power.
Because if you've got something to hang over somebody's head, right? They'll read
people that want the power, that they don't want the power because they think everybody should just be able to handle themselves. So they're like the alphas. And then you got your like betas that want to, you know, they're good workers. They want to help the alpha. And then you get the deltas. They just want to work and have a job and do their thing. And then you got like the rest of society. You got the ones that want to fucking use you and abuse you and take advantage of you. And
I just put the link to that guy from the National Institute of Health, the Nobel Prize winner. If you want to listen to what he says, there's the link. Go at your own risk. But I think that this is something people need to. We need to quit sugarfooting this shit, and you know, really, people need to be held accountable. That's all I've got to say on that. People
Hey, Dave.
need to
I
be
100%
held.
agree with that. Accountability is number one.
So, hey, Dave, what you were saying about, you know, the investigations and stuff, and why aren't they and whatnot. So right here, I'm pretty sure we told you about a very close person to us that had passed away. He went to a hotel room with these two drug addicts, right? The guy, he wasn't really a needle drug user or whatever. And they found him there dying, overdosed. You know, the guy had his arm amputated, his leg amputated. He was missing digits. He couldn't really do that on his own. So someone else did it to him. And there was no investigation. The people that he was with left the hotel room with his phone, his wallet, even his prosthetic leg. I know I've told you this, right? And we contacted the chief investigator here for the sheriff's department in Ironton, in Lawrence County, because this happened across the bridge. And he laughed at us when we told him the names of the two people that were with the guy. And he said he already knew who they were. So, you know, and we got his belongings because, you know, he was the father of my stepsons. And so they were in contact with these people saying, hey, we got your dad's stuff. They wouldn't let us back in the hotel room, which further proves that they left there with all his stuff. Right. And there's no investigation whatsoever. And the only thing we can come to is that they're confidential informants for the sheriff's department. And they won't do anything about it. I mean, they're just marking these things as accidental overdoses. And it's happened a lot here in the same hotel, mind you. So I think there's some sting operation going on in that hotel. The sheriff's, it's just funny to me how the sheriff's department is 25 minutes away. The state highway patrol office is literally right across the road. And there's a police department 1.5 miles away. Right. And the first people to show up on the scene, even before the EMS, is the sheriff's department.
Huh.
Right.
Yeah.
State boys are right across the road. So
well, it definitely sounds suspicious to me. I would look into that definitely as far as you can. But what can you do? See, this is the whole thing. They know you can't do anything. This is why they go ahead and do this shit with impunity. They just go ahead and do it. They don't give a fuck. Nothing's going to happen to them, right? They just get glossed over. Nobody cares. You know, this is just, we just got done. We just said how much power, how overrepresented a certain group of people actually are when it comes to the positions of power and influence. And I think this is one of the reasons that they can get by with some of the reprehensible shit that they do, because they turn around and then scream about events that may or may not have taken place between the years of 1939 and 1945. Okay. This is what they do. to get away with their shit. But when people really look into it, and you say, and because they have so much power that they can just grease whoever they need to through monetary means in order to get by with what they need to. Reality is they own very many of these politicians and stuff. Powerful people put powerful influence in their pockets. This is how it's always worked. And it's not necessarily Jews either. It's or the Italian mafia does this. We saw this exemplified in the movie The Godfather, where it reached up to and including the Pope. Wasn't that interesting in Godfather 3? So the thing is that when there's no checks and balances done in reality, and nepotism seems to be the flavor of the day, this is how you get this kind of corruption. This is why a lot of times small towns are corrupt, because they're friends that go into this, like at the sheriff's department, for instance. Their hires are going to be amongst people that they know in the community, people that are their friends, and oftentimes they're relatives. And they put them in those positions of power. These people, knowing that they've been given this and the authority above them is related to them, the familiarity that people display, especially in small towns, is going to favor the relative over the other person, regardless of whether it was right or wrong. I've seen it a million times, right? It's this same thing that started this whole McCoy Hatfield's fucking feud that was so famous, right? And it's like, but my kinfolk, you hurt my kinfolk, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. Well, your kinfolk was,
you stole my
drunk.
pig. You stole my pig. That
happened right here where I
you
live.
stole
Dave.
my pig.
Yeah, see, and so it's
road actually.
There's so much of this, and it's so obvious, and it's like, look, man, we're tired of just letting it stand, letting it go by. Somebody's going to have to be accountable. I mean, for crying out loud, we're only 11 days into this year, and already look at all the Yahoo crazy shit. We're dropping bombs on Yemen. We got secret tunnels underneath synagogues in Brooklyn. We've got just all this fucking nutty bullshit right to start the new year with, man.
I saw some stuff about Israel actually losing a couple of lawsuits and some national courts, but I think there were smaller national courts that don't really mean much. So I don't think anything's going to happen about it. But
no, nothing ever will. Look, the whole thing, you can even look, this whole thing, that's why I believe that we're Zionists via Israel, responsible for the assassination of JFK. That was a huge part of it. His standing in the way of Israel obtaining nuclear weapons and shit, that was a big factor, man. It really was. Whether you believe that they're real or not.
Yeah, I don't actually believe in it.
No, I don't either. That's a ridiculous idea, to tell you the truth.
I mean, I believe in firebombs. I believe in really big bombs.
Oh my God.
There's really fucking big bombs.
Fuel air bombs?
Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Right? But this is just some of the stuff that comes from the Talmud, and this is they put this above their Torah. They put this above their Torah because this is oral shit that was passed down and then written. So you've got killing a goyim, that's you and me.
Yeah.
Is like killing a wild animal. Even the best of the goyim should be killed. A goy, a goy who sticks Christians for Israel. A goy who sticks his nose into the law or the Talmud is guilty and punishable by death. Well, so all of us right now are punished. Or
if we even look at it,
that's right.
Have our throats slit.
Tell the goyim something about our religious relations. Is tantamount to killing all the Jews, because if they knew what we teach about them, they would kill us openly. Where are we at? Number 5 here. If a Jew is given the floor to explain any part of the book of a rabbi, he must give only false explanations. Anyone who ever breaks this law will be put to death. So you just
sounds kind of like the Freemason oath, don't it?
It does.
A lot like it.
It says sexual intercourse with a girl is permitted if the girl is 3 years old. That's not my words. This is their teachings, man. This is their stuff they go by.
Well, after she's pubescent, you're not supposed to, though. It does say that in a different part. I don't know if it's on your little list here. I can't see the.
I don't know. We're only up to number 6. Number 7.
Like, you can, like, as long as she's after 3, under pubescent, and she's not a Jew, and she's a goy. Basically, as long as she doesn't bleed, she's not even considered like a female. And you're allowed
Are you
to do
fucking
whatever you
kidding me
want.
right now? Where
No,
is
I'm
this
not.
from? No, I mean, I'm asking, what is this from exactly?
That's in the fucking Talmud,
This
man.
is the Talmud. Dude, I've never read. Okay, I'm gonna have to fucking. Wow.
So here, number 7, I guess, from Shalboth Hag 6D, whatever. I guess that's the book. Jews may make false promises and excuses.
Yep.
No sin there. That sounds a little bit like Lucifer to me. Sounds a little bit like, could it be Satan? Let's see here. Number 8, do not save the goyim in case of danger or death. This is some nice stuff, man. Makes me want to ship a care package off to Israel.
The people that claim to be Jews that are not, but are of the synagogue of Satan.
Yeah.
That is exactly what these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Exactly. So it says, show no mercy to the goyim. All right. If it can be proven that someone gave the money of the Israelites to the goyim, a way must be found after reasonable compensation for the losses to wipe him out from the face of the earth. Wow. It's really all about wiping people out and killing and shit.
It's like blood, like it's a life force or something, you know? You know what I mean? The energy currency, it's a thing to them.
So it says a Jew can have whatever he finds if it belongs to a goyim.
Yeah.
He who returns.
Yeah, have you ever seen that video of the fucking the fucking Jew guy? He went to the Palestinian woman's house and was like, "This is my house," and she was like, "What are you talking about? This is our house." And he was like, "No, you are goyim. You are goyim. This is my house now. This is my house. You guys have to get out. You have to get out." And the fucking people came and fucking escorted that family out of their motherfucking house because that guy claimed it.
Yo, that was a scripted thing. That was it was supposed to be satire, but I mean that's pretty much how it goes, right?
No, this wasn't a satire. Not the one I'm talking about. Wasn't satire.
Oh, I saw one exactly the way you're describing it, and it was just meant to be like this is what it's really like, you know.
Well, the one I'm talking about wasn't satire. This was.
Oh, okay, I'd have to see it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The thing, what I was going to say,
I wish I had it saved because I'd like to show it to you because I do know that there were a couple of people that did make videos making fun of that because it was a viral video, and a bunch of people made fun of it because that was still like when the 9/11 narrative was going on before people were really like awake to that.
Right.
And people were like, you know, really going hard at the Muslims, but it's like really, it's not really the Muslims. Like we've been really fooled about a whole lot of fucking bullshit, a whole lot of shit. And those people that were coming over here, they were not Muslims. And the people that fucking like we didn't like Muslims didn't fucking take down the twin or I'm not YouTube, but
yeah, well, look, everybody knows. So the reality is, though, if you think about this, if you've grown up your entire life, this being a fact that you can just take something you find if it belongs to a goyim, and that's just the way things are, it's going to seem perfectly reasonable to you. Yeah. You see, this is why belief systems are dangerous.
Including the little kids they snatch.
Right. Well, that's not exclusive.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, the stuff going little basements down there with them little high chairs. You know?
I know. Yeah, I just say no. I'm not saying that shit was happening down there. I'm not saying that.
Right.
What I am saying is that there seems to be a lot of suspect things about this, given all of the information we have concerning this subject of tunnels and trafficking, and not just people, drugs, what have you. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you know, and this isn't exclusive
Maybe just
to
precious items.
We're here for
you know?
entertainment purposes only. Everybody needs to know that.
and it's also not exclusive to any one group of people either, because after all, we know that the cartels have tunnels and systems and shit that come under the border into the US. We hear about them finding them all the time. So we know people have done tunnels and shit. The bottom line to it is this: no good deeds are done underground, man. Okay? If you got to go underground to hide your activity, then there's something wrong with the activity that you're doing. That's all I can say about it. So whether you're smuggling people and drugs into the United States under the border, or you're tunneling underneath of New York City for God knows what reason.
Diamonds,
Allegedly.
gold, and fucking silver and pebbles and
Yeah, that's what I'm just saying. It's just like no good deeds are being done underground. And if you have to listen, the whole thing is there were no work trucks there for this. That dirt was piled up because they were hiding their activities. Okay, because they were secretly taking the dirt out and distributing it somewhere else. They weren't like just digging it out, taking wheelbarrows of it out and buckets of it and dumping it in a dump truck and having it take off. No, none of that was going on.
No.
So they were.
That's not what I thought. Here's what I thought. I thought they went down to the basement, and I thought it was already backfilled.
Oh no.
I thought it was already backfilled, and they started like pulling all this dirt out and realized there was all this underground like stuff underneath there. That's what I thought at first until you explained it earlier.
We got John
and
Thomas.
after I saw it, I was like, oh no, they didn't even haul the dirt out. They were just stashing it in all these fucking little room areas.
Well, they were taking it out.
And then when it comes to like the mattresses and a lot of the, you know, other crap, it looked like they just like took stuff down there when they needed it for storage, left it down there, and it just got left down there and nobody ever took it out.
I don't know, man. It
kinda
looked
what I
like
thought.
the reason that dirt was all piled up, like I said, they were secretly taking the dirt out so no one would know they were digging a tunnel. That was the whole reason.
I'm saying that, but the dirt was still left in the basement of the
Yes.
I thought they were digging the basement out.
No, they went beyond the basement.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. Yeah. So anyway, I got John Thomas is here with us. Let me bring him up.
Hey, Sovereign, when you bring him up, I'm bouncing.
What's happening, John?
Hey, Dave, I think you hit the nail right on the head, brother.
Whoa. Can you turn your microphone down just a little bit, my friend?
Okay.
Hey, Sovereign, I gotta go, buddy. Today's Sarah's birthday, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Sarah.
Here, she's getting ready to go dig a tunnel. Look.
You're gonna go dig a tunnel? Good job. Go dig one for me,
happy
too.
birthday.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Oh, I love it. She's working on something. She's got a headlight strapped to her head there. Hey, much love, guys. I gotta get.
Much love.
I thought for a minute that was Chili DeCastro's 360 Super Cop
Talk to you, man.
scope or some shit.
Transparency out. Yeah.
With all due respect, Dave, kiss my ass.
Grits is the proper word. Sorry.
We love you guys. Thanks.
Love y'all, man. Thanks for coming on, Jeeves.
All right, man. Good.
All right.
I think you hit the nail right on the head, brother.
Yeah.
It's the nepotism, man. That's how Jews got this far. It's nepotism amongst actually Christians, Muslims, and Jews.
Mm-hmm.
Because the common thread is a man named David.
Right.
As soon as you say, how David brought about the plague of Israel. You know, Numbers 8:19. Nope, everybody jumps down your back. Jews, Muslims, Christians. What do you got against David? You know what I mean? Him and Solomon, they brought about the child worship. Sacrifice of Molech and all that other stuff. And yet he's in the Bible. We can't say nothing bad about him. It's just nepotism, man. And that's how they manage that to do all this. You're not
Yeah.
allowed to call it out. It's and the way to fight it is you do have to use the laws of Moses. That's the way you have to hold them accountable. Just like, you know, goyim or this, goyim or that. Well, Moses said you had to treat the stranger with kindness. You know what I mean? You have to use the actual law to point it out that, hey,
Well, John, what's this thing with 11 here where it says a Jew can have whatever he finds if it belongs to a goyim? He who returns the property sins against the law, increasing the power of the offenders. However, he deserves praise if the lost property is returned to glory, name, and God. That is when Christians will praise the Jews and look at them as honest people. Why?
I think it goes to the precedents that people like David and Solomon set. And what they do is they say, okay, David got away with this, Solomon could do that. So this equals that. You know what I'm saying? If you got something, I want it, and you're a goyim, I take it. And the precedent somewhere in their prophets, you know, in their scriptures. And the problem with the Jew is they hate the law the way it's written in the law. They're going to keep it some other way. You know what I mean? And
well, apparently, yeah, in a way that favors them in every instance. That's what it looks like, right? So, like here with number 12, it says a Jew can and must swear to lies when the goyim asks whether there's anything against them in our books. So it's okay to swear to God and still be lying. That's okay. And it says the Jews are human beings and the other nations are the world of the world are not men but beasts.
If you look
when the Messiah comes, each Jew will have 2,800 slaves. Ain't that nice? Holy crap. This stuff is just, I mean, do I need to go on?
If you look at David's campaigns, he fought against everybody but the Canaanites. He fought Moabites.
Yeah.
He fought Ammonites. He fought Edomites. He fought everybody but Canaanites. And the Canaanites were the bloodsuckers. They're the ones that would eat your babies. Instead, he married their daughters. He married a Canaanite princess.
Yep.
That was Absalom's mother. He was in league with Hiram, the king of Tyre, a Sidonian, another Canaanite. And then, lo and behold, Solomon hires Hiram to build his temple. So, I mean, Numbers 18 tells us that if the Levites didn't perform their duties inside the tabernacle of meeting, and nobody calls the temple the tabernacle of meeting, that there would be plagues unleashed. So when David dismantled the tabernacle, I mean, he's the guy that stopped the sacrifice. There's no other way to look at it. You know what I mean? He stopped it all. He brought down the plague, and even once when he numbered Israel, he took a census, even with all those Canaanites that he had living amongst him. And Joab asked him not to because Joab was smarter. He knew, hey, you've got a lot of Canaanites. You don't want to take a census. But David did it anyways. And then God was angry and sent a prophet and gave David 3 choices. And one of them was that he could fall into the hands of his enemies. And David decided, no, don't let it happen to me. Let's have it fall on Israel. And for days, you know, like 20,000 Israelites died because, you know, he didn't want to pay for his mistakes. And then the angel stopped over a Jebusite's house. That's a Canaanite, the one that was bringing the plagues. And
Are we going to tie this into what the discussion is about?
definitely, this is
Cool.
how they manage, man. Is they say, okay, look at what we, as a people have done, and God says David's a man after God's own heart. So I can, everything David's done, I can do. That's the spell cast there. If he's still a man after God's own heart, if I have Saul's children impaled, that's a-okay. That's kosher.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's
Sure,
still
why
a
not?
man after God's own heart. That's punishing the children for the sins of their father. That's against God's law.
Mhm.
And we see a lot of that today. Everybody's saying, you know what I mean? Your daddy did this to my daddy or whatever.
You're right, right. It's more of that kin bullshit. More of that kin feud.
And then exactly that
Feud.
Hatfield
Listen,
and McCoys. And
right.
like you said,
Look,
the Jews use that
Cartman.
entitlement. They use that entitlement of their suffering when they're the ones that brought the plague down. It's all there.
Well, they're not chosen. I mean, you can go back through the lineage and you know this. So I thought it was really funny. You watch South Park?
I did when I was, way back in the 90s.
So yes, you have watched South Park. Cool. This is Cartman. I think it's funny. It's like these things come out in these shows, and then it's like it happens. Listen to this. Is funny as hell. I remember this episode.
The answer is obvious, my friends. It is the Jews. Covetous Jews who have taken all our money and hoarded it for themselves. Hidden all the cash in some secret Jew cave that they built, probably back in the early 60s. The answer is obvious, my friend.
Hidden some secret cave that they built probably back in the 60s. I'm like, yeah, probably close to the truth there, Cardi. Here's where they were pulling those all that shit out. This is a longer video. This is pretty good though.
They're breaking through.
Let me go ahead and put this up real quick. You can get the whole thing out of this one.
They're breaking through. They're breaking through. He wants you to throw it.
I don't know what the fuck they
Look at them
thought
all
they were
piling
doing.
in there through that hole. Create a hole in the wall. That was because the cops had blocked their other entrances, wouldn't let them go back in there, so they busted in a place in the side of the tunnel to get into it.
Oh, is that what? Okay. I thought they were inside the place tearing the fucking wall out.
Someone using his mind over there. No one loses the mind. But I'm saying what was up there? Exactly. And that's how we built for this. So during the week, things
I don't like that guy a second ago said, who's been using the mind? And he said, no one's been using the mind.
I look at לומדים שם. אבל ברוך השם שם לומדים. כן, ספרים. מה?
Oh, that reminds me, Orkin came today. We haven't stopped routinely to make sure that we're not having any mice getting in the house and shit like that. So, yeah, that was a good thing. The cops are all there because these guys went to occupy the tunnel that the city was trying to fill in to prevent them from filling it in. I would have just filled it in. You know, you want to be part of a fucking concrete structure, that's your choice. But they were doing it in protest to fill in the tunnel. This is what I find really suspect is their protests of this is really over the top. What is so important about this tunnel to elicit this kind of a response? That's what I want to know. And I'm right with you, Mouse. I want some investigation into this too. But we know that there won't be because of the powers that be and who's controlling and pulling the string. Come on.
Because those guy wanted to go out. Those guy wanted to go out. It says no. I want to clear the whole shoe. Oh, shoe? Why is that? They want to fix this tonight. They need the shoe clear. And to why we need to expend something. Not like this. Not safe. We don't do that in America.
Not gonna help. They try to. We could. Problem is, both sides have to work.
So what is so important about that tunnel that they had to build it in secret and that they would go to such lengths to stop the city from being able to fill it in?
I don't know.
I find that's very, very, very odd.
The cops
Like I
didn't
said,
act like they do with everybody else, neither.
I think those young guys that were standing in there trying to block it from getting filled in might have been trying to stop them from blocking it so they could go down there and see the fucking evidence. But what did they do as soon as they hauled those motherfuckers out of there? They filled that motherfucker in with concrete. Yeah, there's video evidence.
Yeah, I think
but it's now filled with fucking
let me see
concrete
if I-
because of structural. You know, there were structural issues with the buildings around it. It is, or at least that's what the claim was.
let me see if I might be able to do that. Oh, wait. Maybe not.
I actually believe we're going to see more things like
No,
this.
they're really not. They're really trying to sit on this, man. They're really trying to sit on this hard because at first it was all over. Now you're seeing it start to get censored and shit, and it's because of what people
because,
are,
well, yeah,
what they're starting to say about it.
Man, it rose a hair on a lot of people. My dad, man, I couldn't believe when he saw it. few days ago, and he was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, let's see.
And I was like, yeah, I was like, obviously they were doing something fucking weird. I don't think they were necessarily smuggling children or anything down there. There could have been some weird fucking shit going on
Well,
down there. But that
get this. The Shabbat headquarters where they found the tunnels are less than a mile away from Jeffrey Epstein's former primary residence.
all right. Well, now you fucked me up again, man. You fucked me up again. Every time I try to give them the benefit of a doubt, another point comes across.
They also discovered this the day of the fucking Epstein dump, that dump of documents that came out.
All right, man.
Isn't that interesting?
We got the answer to all of our problems.
I mean, it's like, I'm not making any claim.
Nope, I did not say any claim.
I'm just saying, here is what happened, right? Here is what we know. Here's how it relates to other things. There is obviously some sort of a cover-up taking place that is preventing us from knowing this, because wait a second, you better hold the phone. There's some questionable shit about this tunnel before you go filling it in.
Yeah.
And I think that there's much, 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 much more, just given that little bit of information I just found, of it being less than a mile from good old Jeffrey's primary residence.
I actually believe they want us to find this, Dave. They want us to find the truth of what, all that stuff in Auschwitz. You know what I mean?
I kind of wonder.
Where did you
wonder about
where
that.
did you first hear about this? Where did you first hear about this?
It was just popping up
Just
on
like-
YouTube.
Just popping up on
Yeah.
YouTube
When I first seen it.
about the tunnels. I
If shit pops up on YouTube,
haven't seen much on YouTube about the tunnels. It's all over Twitter. So yeah, I'm just curious how many people had not heard about this.
It's X.
What?
X.
Get what right?
X.
Huh?
X.
X. Well, I don't know. It's still the
No, man, I was
the
just messing
URL
with you,
still
man.
says. Yeah, I was gonna say the URL still says.
It still says Twitter.
https twitter.com, man.
Yeah.
So
Ain't
yeah, I don't know
it's-
what they're doing with this
yeah,
thing. I don't really
don't
care
know.
either.
I think they want us to know
You know,
about
they
the
just-
truth of the
Ooh.
of the 6 million.
I don't
The
think
truth
they
of 9/11. I've
know.
been saying Alex Jones's job is to, dump the goods on the Zionists one day, because they actually believe that if the world surrounds them and attacks them, that's when they're going to be delivered. It's in Zechariah, I believe.
Huh.
There's contradictions.
Isn't
know what I
Alex
mean? He's-
Jones married to a Jewish woman? And did
Right, but
he not
it's
convert to Judaism?
yeah, but you know what I mean. If they have a plan to actually tell on themselves to make the world enraged, you got to think, 4D chess here. They work towards
Well, that's
fulfilling
what they
their
say about Trump.
prophecies. Exactly, and Trump might be a part of that instrument. You know what I mean? The
I don't
Yeah,
trust
well,
him.
what
I
if
don't
all of a sudden Trump says, "Hey, I got the goods on the Jews, guys, and we're gonna go get them."
Yeah, well,
Well,
I still don't trust
I'll tell
him.
you. I'll tell you what fucking lost my faith in Trump was when he went over there to the fucking weeping wall and put his hand on it, and he just patted it,
Yep.
and he just
And
kept.
then come back and
he
talk about
kept-
Christian
He
ideals.
kept doing this, and he was wearing that little
Yep.
white yarmulke on the back of his fucking head. He was
Yeah.
just fucking praising on
What
the
if he
weeping
what if
wall.
he says that was all part of the
Oh.
plan, part of the art of the deal?
I don't care what Donald Trump says.
Dude.
I don't trust him. I know that he is nothing more than a fucking salesman.
I don't
I
trust
know who
anyone
employs
that's
him.
not being honest with anybody, because if they're lying to some of the people, they might be lying to you.
Yeah.
You want to trust an honest
Yep.
person.
Well, here's
You
the-
want a
here's-
person
I
that's
know-
going to be
I know
fucking
who
honest in
funds
the
him.
first place, and not dick you around.
Right.
You're not gonna get
I know who
into
funds
business
me.
with somebody who's dicking somebody else around, because then you're gonna realize they might be dicking you around.
That's what Christ said.
Right.
Those that do
Well,
their
John,
deeds are
I know who funds the man. I know where his funding comes from. Okay. So he would never say that. Okay. You realize Israel just they crowned him the Moshiach,
Yeah.
right? You know that. And he moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He's a big hero. He's on a coin over there. He's on their currency, for crying out loud. What do you guys, you know, do we need any more proof of where Donald Trump's loyalties actually lie? You know, has Donald Trump ever called out this bullshit of dual citizens in the Congress? Nope. Nope. Never once. Because he knows where his bread's buttered, man. He knows where his bread's buttered.
He said he was going to an interview when he was first running for president. But then after that, he never brought it up again.
They're prophets that ensure them that their King David, who's going to make them make us drink our blood and eat our flesh at his feet, have also said that we're going to one day surround Jerusalem, and the men will be killed and the women will be raped, and that all nations will attack. So they're working towards that. Think about it. All the atrocities, all the lies. What if it's meant to one day say, hey, you caught me red-handed, come do it, come get me? You see what I'm saying? They feel like they have to fulfill that.
Well, I don't give a shit what they feel like. They better knock their bullshit off. That's all there is to it, man. This is stupid. These people, grown adults, believe in this nonsense fucking horse shit.
Yeah, let's
to
look
the
at this.
point where they're gonna just do this crap, man. This is insane.
What the fuck is that?
So anyway, what is this?
That. How can somebody look at that and say, I can see a curve?
Right. Well, watch this as it moves.
What the fuck?
Okay, I'm going to stop this for just a minute. I want you guys to notice something here. Notice the hot spot of the sun right on top of the clouds underneath the sun there. And then you notice over here towards the right how dark these clouds look. And over here to the left how dark the clouds look. There's no sunlight hardly on those at all. But right underneath the sun, you see what you call a hot spot. And that right there alone proves that the sun is very close and local, right above the clouds. I'm going to demonstrate for you right here. Notice right here, you see the hot spot underneath the light bulb? When I raise it up high, it lights up the whole bed. We put it back down low to the bed mattress, we get a hot spot. Now, I want you to pay attention to these couple stars right here to the right of the screen. And remembering that the sun is supposed to be traveling in a straight line through the universe at 600,000 something miles per hour. Now, watch to the right as these stars zoom past us, okay? Remembering that the sun is traveling in a straight line through the universe, supposedly. We just left those stars behind, right? We're traveling in a straight line, which means we shouldn't be turning around and coming back there if we're following the sun. Okay. Now, pretending we're on a ball. I'm saying pretending we're on a ball. But yet, you'll see those same stars again tomorrow. But we travel in a straight path according to this sun that we're following. No, you're not. You're following the sun over some flat clouds on a flat earth. Now, remember, on a flat earth, we're following the sun west, so that means it should always be turning just a little bit to the right of you as you're flying behind it, chasing it. That is why you keep seeing this cameraman turn the camera to the right. See, he's flying according to the compass, but the sun is making a circuit. That's why you keep seeing it go to the right. He has to adjust the camera and the aircraft to the right. Now, if you were flying east, like we're going to do in the next chapter, you would constantly be turning the camera to the left. and look at that beautiful hot spot right over the top of those clouds. The horizon is the same all the way across. If the sun were 93 million miles out in space, all these clouds would have the same amount of light on them, but they don't. It only lights up the clouds that's right underneath it, and you can see it right there.
Those stars would rise too.
Yeah, that was...
And they don't. And you run into all kinds of crazy shit. But anyway, wow, what are they doing? Oh, yeah. About the subliminal messages. This is kind of crazy. Real short, but think about it. This is another way they get at you too, man, in your brain. This is why people think stupid shit, man. They don't even realize why they think stupid shit. They think it's normal. Man, they give you ideas without you even knowing it.
Now that I need you.
What the?
Now that I need you.
I mean, shit. When it's flashing by real fast like that, you don't really pick it up.
Yeah.
You slow it down and start picking it out. It's like, what does that little cartoon up there say? Oh my God. You know? But your subconscious picks that up, whether you're aware of it or not. And it's embedded.
To prolong the fucking Israel flag on the guy's leather jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're with Israel, you're like the rebel.
Let me look at that again. Put drugs in your butt?
What?
That thing said put drugs in your butt.
No, it didn't. Oh my God, man.
Yeah, no.
That is so crazy. That's such a fucking synchronicity. Okay, so all of a sudden this afternoon, my fucking parents, my dad read something on the internet, my brother said something about it. But apparently kids have been like teenagers and college students have been soaking tampons and vodka and shoving them up their fucking ass.
I've been doing that for a few years. Yeah, that's very dangerous
They
too.
call it
You can
butt-
kill yourself like that.
Do you know what they call it?
What?
Butt chugging.
Butt chugging. Listen, let me tell you why that's very dangerous.
Dude, yeah. Oh yeah.
You
yeah.
get drunk.
There's
You get
like
drunk.
lesions and all this shit that's like happening to all these people. It's disgusting.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you're getting it into your body by bypassing your liver.
Oh yeah, it's going straight to your bloodstream and to your brain.
Boom.
Yeah.
Right. So you're getting
it
the
says
full
kicks
dose.
in from 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah. And you're you're getting a lot more. You know, if you drink an actual shot, you're only really affected by about half of it.
No,
okay,
not even that. I don't.
The rest of it's absorbed by your liver.
I think you're only affected by like an eighth of it, because most of it passes.
So the
through
rest
your
of it's
body.
absorbed
like
by your
most
liver.
of it, like just kind of flows through. You're only affected by a little bit.
Right. So by bypassing your liver, you're getting a much higher dose in a smaller amount.
Yeah.
And this is why it's dangerous. I've heard of them doing this with actual enemas with alcohol.
It's super dangerous, dude. People have been doing it with methamphetamines and cocaine and heroin. And
so this Justin Bieber wants you to put drugs in your butt.
Yeah.
Look at that crazy shit. What? Why's he got that on his back for? Justin Bieberstein? Bieberberg? What?
Yeah, that was the yeah.
Just
Another way that they hijack your brain, man. Just another way that they hijack your brain. You know, they've been doing it for a long time. They just find better ways to do it all the time.
This is
More
it.
creative ways.
This,
Yeah, you don't want to know about. Yeah, this is another one of the practices. I don't know what this all this craziness. They got that one. Look at this thing here. It's a ritual called what is it? Metzitza? Metzitzpa. Bepa, where a rabbi circumcises a baby with his mouth and then
Oh
suctions the
no,
blood
none.
to
Yeah.
stop the bleeding.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting, man. I've seen that. Oh no.
It's like, what? Who in the hell ever? How did you float that by the parents the first time? That's what I want to know. How did you float that by the parents the very first time that this little ritual was done? I want to know what method was employed to actually convince the parents and everyone else, for that matter, that this was something that needed to be done.
It's tradition.
Yeah, but they had to start somewhere.
I mean, I know, man. I don't fucking know. Dude, that's one of the things that really baffles the crap out of me, man. Where the fuck does this come from? Like, to use your teeth to snip off the foreskin of a like to like
Man.
that's not even.
I'm not sure they actually.
Listen, I
use
first
their
heard
teeth.
about
No,
this.
they do that, man. They do that. Some of them do that.
They would have
Years
to
ago,
sharpen teeth or something.
my wife worked at the health department as an administrator there, and a memo went around about STDs being passed to children this way through this ritual. I actually saw the memo. So this isn't just something people make up. This actually at the health department, the Virginia Department of Health, and I'm sure other health departments around the nation were given memos regarding the transmission of STDs through this practice to children. So that ain't just something somebody pulled out of their ass.
Sucking the blood. I have heard them sucking the blood, but it was always after they used the tool. They used the tool and then they sucked the blood.
No, they and squeezed it, and man,
I cannot
even
for
want to think about it.
myself.
I don't, man.
No, I cannot. Other than
videos
with
of
it,
but go look it
Mhm.
up for yourself. I don't even want to share it with you because
Yeah.
it's not even worth looking at. It's not.
Yeah, I don't need to be an
Yeah,
eyewitness. I
no,
don't need to be an
no.
eyewitness to it in order to know that this came through the Virginia Department of Health. Okay. This is a thing that's done. Okay. So I don't even need to watch somebody do it or witness it or even see a video of it. I know that this was a problem and maybe probably still is, that, people are wondering how in the hell did this newborn baby get herpes when neither of his parents have it. What the hell is going on here? How did this kid, this opened up another whole little thing, and of course nobody said, why are these people doing that? They just said, be on the lookout for it. What?
Yeah.
It's just what they do, I guess. Huh.
I think the question that comes into everybody's mind is, did God order anyone to be circumcised? That's the
Well, no,
I
he
don't
would have
think
made
so, man. I don't
him
think so.
circumcised.
No, I do not think so, because that's one of the funny things. I got to looking that up because that was, man, so many synchronicities tonight. I got to looking up if it was in the Quran. Nowhere in the Quran does it say you're supposed to be circumcised.
In the book of
Nowhere
Moses,
in there
it said
does it
that
reference
Abraham
Well,
was
the Muslims don't practice circumcision.
Yes, they do, actually.
They're not supposed
No,
to.
like 85%, because of these Sunnis.
Well, I'm not a Jew or a Muslim, and I'm circumcised.
Yeah, well, I'm circumcised, but I
They're
mean, I
just
was
doing
born into a Baptist family, but I mean, I love Islam. I claim that, but
well, here's what you have
I
to
mean,
look at.
but also, like, I
If
don't
God meant
believe
for
the
you,
same way other people believe. Like, I actually still believe in the Bible, but I kind of read it all and took it all like, you know what? Everybody's supposed to just kind of be like good to each other and try to like lead everybody to truth. And
don't you think?
And you're not supposed to force your beliefs on anyone. You're supposed to lead by example. You're just supposed to be cordial with everyone. And if
Well, here's an exercise in logic, Matt. Let's do an exercise in logic.
Okay, let's do this. I like this.
All right.
I've heard you do this
If
with people
God
before.
if God wanted people to be circumcised, then why did he have them born with a fucking foreskin? Why didn't he just start out that way?
No, I don't think people should be circumcised.
No, that's what I'm saying.
No, and the
So
Quran
logic
doesn't say that though. That's what I'm telling you. But I'm telling you
Okay.
that there's a
I
lot of
don't care
Muslims
what.
that are deceived.
Look.
I'm saying there's a lot of people that are deceived in the world that think they're supposed to be, and I don't think you're supposed to be. I think you're supposed to be pretty damn natural. Like, I think you're supposed to be
Okay,
kind of
so
how God
whether a
created
book
you.
says one thing, or another, it doesn't matter, right? None of that would matter. The bottom line is that if you believe that you were created in God's image, you have to believe that God has an uncircumcised penis and wants you to have one too, but he didn't make you that way. That doesn't make any sense.
No, it
So
doesn't.
can't be that. So if God wanted you to have a circumcised penis or to not have a foreskin, don't you think you would have been created without a foreskin? Yes, absolutely. So what is this nonsense? Where do they get this? I think it's just perverts that get off on cutting off the ends of dicks.
All right,
Exodus,
yeah, okay, so
Incidentally, that little piece, the discarded foreskin is called a schmuck. If you didn't know that, so when you call people a schmuck, I'm not kidding you. That's what it's called. It's a Yiddish word.
I know that.
Exodus 12:48 says that that the book of Moses doesn't call for everybody to be circumcised. But in Exodus 12:48, if you wanted to have one law with the Israelites, you had to become circumcised. And they
All right.
Where did that? And it didn't come from God.
What I'm pretty sure is, I'm not sure if that's the one, that's the verse that I'm thinking of, but there's one of the verses that says something similar to that, but it says circumcised of the soul, like circumcised of evil, which means you cut your self off of all of like your negative beliefs. Like, you're supposed to stop sinning. That's what it means to circumcise, is to cut yourself off. It doesn't mean cut yourself off, like cut a piece of your damn body off. It means to cut out bad behaviors.
I'm
bad
sorry, I just
intentions.
I don't think God wants you cutting your dick off.
I don't think so either, man.
I don't
think so
think
either.
He wants,
I don't think he.
no, I don't think God wants you to cut off,
because I think he created us in perfection, and we shouldn't do that. Yeah,
if
we
you
don't
didn't want to
need
be
do
an
Well, it's like
Israelite,
this.
keep the law.
You're not supposed to cut off little bits of your dick.
No.
You're not supposed to cut off little bits of your dick. You're not supposed to cut off your whole dick. Okay.
No.
You were given a dick for
Any
a
of it.
reason, right? All
Yeah.
right. So there it is. Any of the rest of this is just created by some freaking weirdo that wants to cut on dicks. Did you ever see this Robin Williams talking about Stephen Hawking? This is fucking hilarious, man. Listen to this.
Just to hang out with Stephen Hawking. Oh, wow. Nice day to hang out with me. They say he goes to strip clubs. That's wild.
Yeah.
Laptop dance. Now for me. Now work it, girl. Take me to the event horizon. There we go. Now, what a great idea to have fun now. You know I want it. Now, don't sit on the keyboard. Delete, 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 delete. I'm sorry. Where did you go with that one? It just...
And that's kind of interesting because, you know, that was a thing. They said, oh, that's neat. Stephen Hawking's like a regular guy, likes to go to strip clubs and shit. And then you find out this motherfucker was hanging out on Epstein Island. He liked midgets.
Man, Stephen
midget
Hawking.
porn.
What the fuck, man? You think that?
Yeah, man. He went to Epstein Island a bunch of times. Yes.
I don't even think the guy was even like alive for the past like 40 fucking years or so.
Stephen Hawking? He just died a couple of years ago.
No, I don't even think he was alive.
I heard.
Well, no, he was basically, it was like a meat sack in a wheelchair. We don't know that he was really talking. We don't even know what was him. Come on, man.
Yeah, that was not him talking. That definitely. All right,
No.
there might be a body in that seat.
Yes.
And all that crap, but
And he goes,
man, he wasn't. That wasn't like.
Did you listen? Did you see
Everything that
Melodome the other
came
day when he was
from
talking about?
him was not him.
Right, that's what we're saying. Did you see Melodome the other day when he there was a clip of him talking, and then had a translator, someone translating for him.
Oh
right?
yeah, that
And you see him sitting
guy,
in
yeah, the Larry
he's
Bird
going-
fella. Yeah,
He's going like this. He's going, no, this was a for real serious
no,
thing.
that's what I'm
man.
saying. That guy looked just like Larry Bird. That guy that
Oh,
was
I-
translating actually looked like Larry Bird. But yeah, he was like, and Stephen Hawking would go, "Mer, mer," and he would be like, I actually thought about that when I was about 9 or 11 years old, and
Yeah.
and
And it's
started
how
like
did you
just
get
like
that out of
saying
that
all this
shit?
crap, and it was like, what the fuck? How the fuck did?
How did you get that?
No, what? No, that was not translating. That was script.
No,
I
he was
heard,
just saying.
Stephen Hawkins was
No.
a flat earther, and they gave him some sort of shot that crippled him.
No.
What?
That way back in the day, he
Yeah.
was a big time flat Earth proponent.
You know,
Is there any evidence of this?
man, actually,
No,
I
it
gotta
was
look
just
back
hearsay.
at that. You know, I think
Yeah,
at one
it
time
sounds
he
like
did
it.
mention something about like that. You know how Ken Wheeler's really big on the toroid and the flat plane, the toroid. I think one of Stephen Hawking's first papers actually was about something about that, about how it was a possibility. He didn't say that it was a definite or anything like that. He was just like, well, if you look at physics like this, it could work out like this. But we really know it works
Yeah.
out like this. But when he explained it, it was like, that's exactly the way everything probably works. But not to say that Stephen Hawking
Well,
actually even wrote that fucking paper.
Do you ever see Eyes Wide Shut?
No, I have it.
It's
I have
Stanley
it,
Kubrick.
but I've never watched it.
This is just a short scene from it. This is
But I
kind of crazy.
warn you, if you make any further inquiries, or if you say a single word to anyone about what you have seen, there will be the most dire consequences for you and your family.
Hey, tell me something. Tell
Sounds a
me
little
something
bit-
about that movie. Will it make me uncomfortable to watch?
I hope so.
That's just how
because
Canaanites operate.
I would hope so.
because I don't like I don't like bringing that kind of energy into my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
They don't just go after the man that messed up. They have to go
because
after the whole
I've
family.
already been down the dark rabbit holes, and I don't like looking at that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
Myself,
somebody
I've
who's already seen the dark rabbit holes, can I just like not watch that movie and be okay?
well, sure, it's your choice.
Yeah, I mean,
It's your choice. I wasn't recommending the movie, although I would, in a way, recommend the movie if you want to know how this fucking shit actually works.
I do
This
know
place-
how it actually works.
This was
I've
filmed.
been down so many.
This was filmed actually in one of the Rothschild mansions.
No, I watched a movie kind of recently that fucked me up really bad, and I was like, dude, I would never recommend that movie to anybody.
Right.
Just because it
I wouldn't
shows,
recommend like
really
the Human Centipede.
dark. Yes, this movie would have been along the lines of the movie Centipede, Human Centipede.
Okay, that's because that's you know they made a sequel too.
Yeah,
to the Centipede movie.
Oh, yeah,
I know. Well, look, I think I'm going to go ahead and start shutting it down here.
I didn't finish either movie, but
yeah. The interesting thing about Eyes Wide Shut, pay attention to the very last scene, and it will really tie it all together. There's some symbology there. Remember some of the characters you see in the background. And of course, the cameraman will make note that you have seen them for that purpose. There were a portion of it cut out in the final release. So it's often speculated that this is what actually got Kubrick killed. So
I heard about that. Like
take it
40,
from it what you will.
of the movie.
Yeah, take from it what you will. But in fact, I think I'm going to rewatch it. It's got some interesting stuff. I've been watching Man in the High Castle.
Dude.
Yeah.
How many episodes?
So this is what I find interesting though, because this falls in line kind of with this thing I've had about, because like you see Back to the Future.
Yep.
And okay, so every time that the DeLorean travels in time, it always has something to do with film.
Yep.
The very first time he almost hits a photomat booth. And then when he's coming back from 1955, he goes into time right before hitting a movie theater. The one where he goes to the Old West, he went flying shitsy-gitsy toward a drive-in theater screen, you know? So I'm thinking there's some kind of thing to that. I don't know. And along the lines of reality and film being able to actually mess with reality. So I don't know. It's just something that I'm kind of interested in. And I'm seeing that in this Man in the High Castle, these films from a reality that they don't have, that shows things happening a completely different way. And then somehow these people are going back and forth between these timelines. It's interesting as hell to me, man. So, hey, Nasha Kija.
Man in High Castle. That has to be one of my favorite series that I've ever watched, even though it's like kind of propaganda, but it's kind of like fucking truth. And it's
it's propaganda to the extent
it's
of
like
how
the Nazis took over America and America took over Germany. But I also see that. Did you ever watch the show The Russians?
No.
The Russians.
So the thing
same theory. The Russians, like during the 80s, came over here with the Soviets, where the KGB came over and took over our government. At the same time, we took over their government, and
Swap
it
places.
just kind of switched.
That's dumb. The yeah, this thing it gets me though is I don't know. It's just fascinating. I see the propaganda as to where they are trying to really depict the Germans as evil, and and listen, that is the biggest snow job that we've gotten. Really, not the biggest, but one of the biggest ones. And they've got everybody believing that our noble fight to spread communism through Europe was just cause, and I'm like, oh my God, man, you people, you only knew what was really, really going on if you could see beyond the propaganda and the patriotism, which is nothing more than glorified propaganda, and look at the actual real sequence of events, you would understand why George Patton said, we've been fighting the wrong sons of bitches.
Dude, do you know how bad I felt in my early 20s when I didn't like fucking join the military? And then when I realized what everything was like, what everybody was fighting for was like especially America, we were like fighting for all these foreign governments against all these other foreign governments. I was like, what the fuck are we actually fighting for?
Yeah. Horse shit.
And I was like, man, I was like I respect you for going in and doing your thing, because I know you really believed in like what you were doing, man.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? You didn't
No,
even
I
believe
didn't.
in what you were doing?
No.
You just did it?
Fuck no. No, it was an easy job, man. That's all. It was an easy job. That's
Oh,
all.
okay.
I didn't
I
look
hear
at
you.
it like I was all gung-ho for America or any of that dumb shit. I've always thought patriotism is one of the biggest forms of insanity that they got going.
Yeah. I thought that for a long time. Then I kind of became a patriot like several years ago, and then lost it again because I realized what
Would
I
I
was
fight
naive
for the
about,
people?
I think I was actually right about. You know what I'm saying? Like what
Would
I
I
was
fight
naive
for the
about, I think
people?
I was actually
Would I
right about,
fight?
because I was like, why would I fight for fucking people that I don't even know what we're fighting for, and what the
Right.
fuck?
Listen, if we were attacked, I would gladly take up arms.
Oh, if it's
Okay.
on homeland,
All right.
homeland, yes.
Right. Okay, so going over to other people's houses and picking on them is not my idea of defense.
Nope, it
Man,
is
that's why I
not.
always wondered why we call it. It's really wild. It used to be called the War Department. Then they changed that to Department of Defense.
Yep.
And it's never been about defending. It's always about attacking. It should be called the Department of Attack.
Offense. Department
Yeah,
of
Department of Offense. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. See, it's the opposite of what it really is. They call it the Defense Department, and it's really the Offense Department.
Yep.
Right? I mean, there's hardly any length of time accumulatively of when we were not fucking with somebody or trying to kill somebody else. Never. I mean, it's just like that's been our history. I mean, our national anthem is about war.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bombs bursting in air. I mean, it's like, what the fuck?
Right, because that's what we're all about. That's it. And people think that might makes right, and that's not true, as we've seen. And they wonder, why do all these people in these other nations hate us so badly? Step out of your shoes and take a look at ourselves. My God, we're awful. We are truly awful. We're slovenly, we're lazy, we're stupid, and we're bullies.
They feed it,
right?
They feed us these fucking stories where they say our soldiers ran into these homes to try to check on this women and children, and the man pulls a gun out. So we shot him because he was gonna kill us.
Yep.
No, that man
When
was
you
trying
broke
to
into his
defend his
house.
fucking family.
You broke into his fucking house. What'd you expect?
Yeah, exactly. You ran into his fucking house, and then even I don't even fucking like this motherfucker. The wrestler guy that's a truther type guy.
Jesse Ventura.
Jesse Ventura. Yeah. He was talking about I saw him in an interview when he was crying one time when he was talking about when he was in Vietnam, he said he fucking threw grenades in a couple like little cottages that were supposed to be like military whatever, and they found out afterwards it was actually just like housing for women and children.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of that goes on. War is an awful thing.
Yeah, it is, man. I just
And there's no
I
reason
can't
for it.
agree
There
with
really
it,
is no reason for it.
and I couldn't. Yeah, there can never be a reason.
I'm not going to blame the man. I'm not going to blame the man. They take
Oh no,
young
no,
men.
no. Yeah. I'm
Let me.
not gonna
Would
blame
you
the
let me
guy that went
please,
over there and
Matt?
fucking did it because
Matt.
he thought he was fucking. You know, if you think you're actually fighting for your country and you're going over there but at the same time, I think that's what causes a lot of PTSDs waking up and realizing like,
Absolutely.
holy shit, I went
And
over
then
there
it's
and did
too
a whole
late.
bunch of stuff that
By then it's too late. You see, the deed's already
Yeah.
done. You can't reset. There's no redo. Okay, there's no redo. You've already done it. It's already over. And when somebody like me comes along and tells you this is the kind of shit you're going to encounter when you go put on that silly little costume, do you think you can handle it? Oh, yeah, because of America and my country and gung ho and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. What they've done is they've manipulated your mind. Okay. They brainwashed you into dehumanizing another person. That's exactly what they've done.
Yeah.
They've caused you to commit grave sin by putting yourself above others merely by volition of your nationality. That's horseshit right there.
Perfect, dude. Dehumanizing is the perfect fucking term because that's exactly what they make you do.
This is why we don't. This is why they don't. This is why they always have a slang, derogatory term for the members of the enemy, so to speak. They're gooks. They're zipperheads. They're krauts. They're Huns. No, they're fucking people, man. Redskins, right? No, they're Native Americans, man. This is what they do, and it makes it easier because you're not killing a man. Now you're killing a gook. Now you're killing a kraut. Now you're killing a Ruski. Now you're killing it's not. It's a way of dehumanizing your enemy, which of course makes it easier for people to kill. But that facade only lasts for a short period of time because once that act has been committed, that soldier realizes that it was more than that. It was much more than that. 9 out of 10 times the first thing a soldier does after he kills an enemy combatant is puke his fucking guts out and lose a lot of sleep. It's not a glory thing. There's nothing gloriful about it. There's nothing patriotic about blowing someone's guts all over a wall.
Man, my cousin went to
especially when you went over to their country to fucking do it.
My cousin,
why are we going over to other people's countries and doing that shit?
My cousin
right?
went to Afghanistan. He joined the army back in I think 2000. So after 9/11, he was like one of the first ones shipped off to Iraq and then to Afghanistan. I think he was in Iraq for 6 months or a year, and then he was in Afghanistan for like 2 years. And
I didn't think we went in. When did we go into Iraq? I don't think we went into Iraq until what, 2006?
No.
I think we were in Afghanistan first. I know that.
It was Afghanistan and then Iraq. Maybe I just got it backwards. But he befriended so many people over there.
Mm-hmm.
But he was also in the infantry. And every time I try to bring up what happened over there, he doesn't want to talk about it.
No, they usually don't.
But he also he doesn't want to talk about.
That's how I can always tell a braggadocious. That's how I can always tell a braggadocious simp.
He doesn't want to talk about what he had to do as far as infantry, because I've asked him about that.
Yeah.
But he always wants to talk about the people he met and the friends that he made.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nobody, it's not anything to be proud of to kill other people. That's not a badge of pride. You stain your soul each time.
Well, but the
to the
friends
point
that
where
he
you don't
made
even have one.
and all that stuff made him feel worse about what he did.
Sure. Of course it would, because he's
he
taking
realized
away
that these friends that he's making and having a bunch of
it
common
took
with,
away.
like they are the same people
They
that
took
he
away. He was able to get past that dehumanization aspect of it. That humanized his enemy, and that probably even made it even worse for him to be able to talk about any of that kind of stuff. You know, he probably just wishes that it never happened and would assume to put it
he
past
definitely,
him.
man.
As most of them
He
do. The only
straight up
problem
said
is
that. He
that shit
said that to
festers
me. He
up.
just wished he
Yeah.
just told me before he said he just never wished he would have signed up or done anything. He said he just wished he would have fucking forgot about all of it. But his dad and his grandfather were both in the army, so he went to the army, and he had the same name as them. He was Billy Ray Prince the Third.
Sure.
So
yeah, there's a lot of generational soldiers and shit that take place. It all depends. It usually stops after a vet who's seen hard combat. He will discourage his kids from ever joining such an operation. You see, those that were in the rear with the gear, hell yeah. Go on in. It's a great career and shit. Yeah. Oh, sure it is. Get a free flag when you die. Ain't that
kind
cool?
of like the National Guard these days. I didn't know those fuckers don't even do anything. They just fucking.
The hell they don't. National Guard's the first units they put into combat. They were calling up guard units all over the place to send them over into Afghanistan and Iraq. Hell yeah, regular army doesn't go. They send in reserves and National Guard.
Dude, they fucking told me that if I signed up for National Guard, I'd stay right here.
Yeah.
Because I work at
all kinds of shit too.
I work at. I'm a contractor at Lockheed.
Yeah.
And
so listen, I'll tell you what, they'll tell you all kinds of shit to get you to sign that line.
Yeah.
I've seen them do it, man.
When I was younger,
and then they own your ass.
I came to work there. They were trying to get me to sign up for National Guard and all this, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you can just report here every weekend." And they were like, "Yeah, National Guard doesn't ever leave the state."
Listen, you can watch this.
They told me the National Guard was the state.
Unless they're called up by the Department of Defense.
What's that?
Unless they get called up by Department of Defense through the president. And the president, through the Department of Defense, will say we need to do such and such an operation. And so not to disrupt the logistics of all regular Army units that are already in place, that's where they use the reserves and National Guard. Listen, I'll tell you something, man. You should see. You should see how the way a recruiter, he'll be all buddy friends and talking all cool with you and smoking and joking until you sign the paper, and then you are a buck private and you're gonna that's it right there. As soon as the thing that entire relationship's over.
It's over. Yeah, it's done.
That's done. Yeah, man, it's funny as shit, man. It really is. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and cut this thing off here now. It's 12:30. I've been doing way too long of streams here.
All right, man. All right, man. Great talking to you, man. Nice meeting you, John.
All right,
have
man.
a great night.
Thanks for coming on. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. John, good to have you, brother. We'll see you next time.
All right. Absolutely.
Let me go ahead and cut this puppy on down, and then we'll have some more stuff to talk about tomorrow night when we come back on the Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. I'm hoping I'm going to look and see if I can find us one of those debates. And in the interim, we always have the open challenge on the program with the link pinned in the description. If you'd like to come on and tell me why you think the world is a globe running around in space and all this other nonsense, I'd love to discuss it with you. Absolutely. So that being said,
don't trust Whitey.
Remember, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey, and don't put up with any twiddle twaddle, bahooey, or fucknobbery. Okay. That was another word I just made up.